Yo, people, Team Talk Podcast, episode 15. Myself, Samuel Law. Mind how you're just moving these packets, they can hear it. Do you get me? But yeah, I got Coach with me. Coach, what you saying?
Nah, man, Merry Christmas and all that.
Yeah. Happy New Year as well in advance. I got Kev with me. What you saying, Kev?
Oh, go on.
I got Dash with me. What you saying, bruv?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so it's a lovely time for football when it's over the Christmas period. This period there's a lot of games. But we'll talk about United, Bournemouth. We just finished watching that. 4-1 United, Solskjaer, 3 wins in a row. Coach, I'm putting it straight to you because every time I say to you, yeah, look what we're doing, look what Rashford's done. You go, yeah, well done, but it's only this, it's only that. Meaning it's only Cardiff, it's only Huddersfield, it's only Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I feel that basically we're making these teams look like Bournemouth, Cardiff, and Huddersfield. Do you understand? So instead of limping across the line, now we're putting these teams away, like other teams are doing, like Liverpool and City.
Instead of being scared, instead of watching the game in fear of getting smoked by one of these small teams.
Not even smoked, because Jose never got smoked, but in terms of us not getting the 3 points.
When they outshoot and outscore us and create more opportunities, you're not getting smoked.
Anyway, Coach, so how do you feel about the game today, first of all?
Where are you joking?
No, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about Jose.
Cool. I want to hear all of that.
No, they did well today, man. You can't. But I think even all of us admitted before that it was a good time where Jose got sacked with the run of games that we got coming up, so they can let an interim manager just bed in, etc. Because he was playing house money, Solskjaer. He comes in, he's got Cardiff, Huddersfield, and Bournemouth, and Newcastle on the run, on the spin.
Yeah.
If the team don't perform well in any of them games, whose fault is it going to be?
The players.
So he's playing with house money at the end of the day. So now the players as well, the ones that didn't like Jose and didn't like his style and stuff like that, now that style's gone out the window. He's been sacked. He's gone now. So there's no excuses now. We're now looking at you. But it's a good run of games that they've had to bed in maybe what Solskjaer wants to do, different to Jose.
What do you see different in the style of play?
I think I even take away football from it. What I see the most improvement is the spirit of the camp. Right. Everyone's now, whether
not
you
the football now.
No, because
not the football.
No. I'm saying for me, I expect Man United on a bad day to beat these teams. That's my expectations. Without even any coach, I don't care what coach it is. Usually with the players that we got, we should be rolling out of bed and beating these teams. That's me. But the biggest thing that I've seen is the spirit of the camp. Everyone seems like they're very together now. Yeah. So you can see that Jose had his boys, or whatever it is that he was playing, and everyone was getting frustrated, or why are you playing Fellaini, why are you playing this player, why? But it looks like everybody's now is down for the cause. And I think the biggest thing with Solskjaer is because he's a United legend, but he was never in the first team, really like that. He was never in the first team like that. He's known as a super sub. Yeah. That's what he was known as. He come on, he affects the game. He had that one wonder season when he was playing right wing, when Beckham was on his way out, or whatever it is. But apart from that, he was a great super sub. So when he's talking to players and that, players can't talk to him like, oh, when I leave you out of a team and stuff. He's like, yo, I'm a legend in this club, but I'm a legend as a super sub. So if you play your position right and you do your thing and help the squad, everyone has a role. So I think that's where he's come in and played his part in that. So, but so far so good. The results speak for himself. It's a results business. Yeah, the results speak for themselves.
Kev, how do you feel about you know what, Dash, as a neutral, yeah. So you're an Arsenal fan, innit? Yeah, sorry, man. We'll talk about that later. But you watched the match today as well, yeah?
I didn't.
Okay. Have you seen any of the games prior since Solskjaer's taken charge?
I saw a bit of the Cardiff game. Guys just look free. Just the whole United, the old United. I remember attacking. All the attacking players are actually attacking. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Pogba is doing what he's supposed to do. You know, that box to box role. As this should be. Like, how can you have Pogba on the bench? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Utilize him. He's scoring goals. He got another goal again today.
So 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah, so he got 2 last game. So that's 4-2.
You know, it's not
3 assists the game before that.
It's not rocket science, is it? As far as I'm concerned, Jose Mourinho was the poison at Man United. He had to go.
Yeah, we'll talk about Jose in a sec. But even with Pogba, yeah, he's playing a more advanced role. Obviously, we can see that, right?
That's his strength.
Yeah, he's the Pogba that I was introduced to, yeah.
That's his strength.
And obviously, when he left at United and he was playing at Juve, was the box to box. He used to be on the end of moves as well. He used to be in the build up, but he used to be like running into the box. late. Like a Yaya Toure type. I always looked at him as a Yaya Toure, like he could be, You don't want a guy like Pogba running at you, running into the box when the ball's arriving, or even with the ball. So where he was being utilised before was kind of deeper, like a quarterback, Kev, why are you doing faces? Talk to me. What do you think?
I told you so.
What did he tell us?
I told you, this guy leaving the club will have a major effect in the team. I listed the amount of players that were in our team that weren't performing, that they just had to be, like, there was Luke Shaw. He doesn't have a football brain. He needs to be coached. It's Jose's brain and Luke Shaw's body. Jose's brain on the side of the pitch and Luke Shaw's body. But then now, all of a sudden, he's developed brain.
But what was Luke Shaw's last comments that you saw in his interview? He said, "Bruv, I don't care what anyone says. Don't forget, you don't have to speak to the media. Like Pogba, you don't have to. No one that dislikes Jose has to speak to the media.
Please, you've cut in. It was good. It's good publicity. Pogba has said positive things.
No, I'm not talking about Pogba. I'm not talking about Pogba.
We all know it's bullshit.
I'm not talking about Pogba.
Yeah, even Luke Shaw. No, it's good publicity. If you to make yourself look like the ultimate. No. But even if I hated the manager, a good agent would advise the player, say something positive about him. Even though you hate his guts, say something positive about him. Because it'll make you look like the supreme professional. Like you still did your job, but unfortunately...
So what they don't say, what does it make them look like? They haven't got that
to say.
What I'm saying is, what was it? Has Rashford said anything? I haven't heard Rashford say anything. So what does it make him look like? Does he look like a spoiled player? He might not like Jose.
Everyone revolves. Rashford is one of the youngest players in the first team. Everyone's got a certain level of the maturity and a certain level of understanding. He might have been given the same advice and said, "Fuck that, I ain't doing that." But Shaw's a little bit older. He might go, "Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see the impact you're looking for me to have." If you say it, whether you say it or not, cool. But all my point is, there was too many players that weren't performing on the pitch, and they were being absolutely abysmal. Listen, one of his main guys, Matic, he was dreadful.
I wanted him dropped.
I sat down, I spoke to many United fans, and they were like, "No, you know what? I think Matic needs a rest."
I was saying that.
He looks tired. He looks lethargic. He has had no rest. He's just all of a sudden playing good football. He's all of a sudden understanding his role in the team.
And that was a Jose guy, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. I need to clear up the messes. I need to be the deepest lying midfielder. You know what I'm saying?
But he's got legs around him now with Herrera.
But when you talk about, you're pointing out, oh, well, that's Jose's guy trying to make a point. Well, then someone can flip it back onto you. What about Lindelof now? He looks like he's our number one CB. Whose guy is that?
Jose's guy as well.
This is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that
were they performing under Jose though?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Lindelof was performing under Jose before.
Last couple games,
okay,
there
but
was a lot of fans.
But what I'm saying is that we can all go far as back as Vidic. When you saw Vidic's first game in ever at Man City, what was you thinking? Who the hell are these two playing for this type of club? But you got to give them time to bed in. Yeah. Once they bed in, then they have their year or 6 months or whatever it is. Then you start judging them.
So Kev, have you seen, other than Spirit, like you said, yeah?
I think that's the biggest thing for me. The Spirit. Everyone's.
What have you seen that's different? Like, and just try and be objective and look at the kind of Jose team and the last 3 games. What have you seen?
Style of play. A manager that is coming to the club, looked at our strengths and weaknesses and plays to our strengths and not our weaknesses. You do not turn around. I could give you so many analogies. You do not give someone a job to do that requires hands when they have no hands. You're asking our defense to defend when they're not quality enough to defend.
It seemed like he was overcompensating for that we had a bad defense.
Do you know what confused me the most about Jose? He gave examples of his previous teams and what they were able to do. So he referred to an Inter Milan team with Lucio and all these top players. Then I turned around and said, and you played this counter-attacking type of football. And I looked at that team and I was like, I looked through the list. I said, you've had some amazing defenders here to play that system of football. So why not look at the team and go, you know what? We need to be doing what some of these other teams. That's why I argue with certain people when I turn around and go, please do not look at certain teams and go, oh, they have way more quality than us, because we do have quality as well. We're just suffering in one department.
But can I ask him something back to what he's saying? If that's the same defense that we're talking about now in terms of that's not our strengths, well, how were we the best defense last season when we finished second with the same players? How does that work then?
Well,
Jose Mourinho, that's what he does.
That's what he does.
Defensively,
So he successful. So he was successful finishing
what he
second,
does.
doing what he does with the same players.
No. It's not
the same players.
Basically, it is. Yeah, that's what Jose
Basically,
Mourinho
it
does.
is
No,
the
he
same
sets
players.
up defensively. Innit? We know that's what Jose is best at. He's the best manager at doing that. Innit? But what I'm saying is, Man United also have a wealth of attacking talent that he just ignores. He acts like they're not even there.
No, but what I'm
like,
saying-
do you know what I'm trying to say?
what-
Man United have some of the best young attacking players in world football, in my opinion, innit? Like, if you tap into that. But he refuses to. He's like, no, you
know
have
what
to
I'm
come
saying?
back.
What I'm saying is, how did we end up being the best defense in the league last season, and all of a sudden the same players this season are atrocious because we're not playing to our strength?
Okay.
I just want to answer.
I want to be brutally honest, because I have assessed it, and I wasn't gonna really say this because I felt like I'm just being super objective, because in a way I've maybe something I said might be contradicts with this a little bit. The players. Jose came in, he was in his third season. The first season, everyone's gonna do as you ask of them, no problems. Yeah. Second season, they did it again. But the third season, some of these players, you can tell, because to play this defensive formation, and Jose said it in press conferences as well, to say we do not have the quality to play any other style but the style in which he's saying.
But you know why?
Jose turned around and said, we can't do what we're doing right now. It's not possible. We don't have it. Pogba can't do it. Matic can't do it. Rashford isn't good enough.
We don't have mad dogs.
We don't have.
That's what he said.
That's but mad dogs that you have to do. So, but my point is, the problem is, if you said that against the big sides, yeah. So, if Solskjaer has managed, he's not just, this isn't his first stunt at management. I know he's not going to, I know he's not going to go to Tottenham and try and play this expansive football and think that, we're going to whoop them. No, he's going to have to apply some strategy.
Yeah. He's got Mac Feeling with him. He's not, Feeling is experienced enough to know we're not going to go to
Can I say something? So, to answer your question, directly, I just thought about it. Yeah. The reason why I think is, before the season started, Jose lost those players.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I actually agree with you. That's why I was on the board so much to say, listen, if this guy's coming out and spitting like this, surely you have to make a decision here. Are you going to back him or sack him?
Nah, but coach, wait, coach. You know what? Wait. You did say. Before you said that, you did say at the time. I remember the podcast. You were saying, but the players, they're so soft. Jose is right.
Listen. I'm saying that what Jose was saying was right for what he wants to move forward, is what I'm trying to say. But if you feel as a board and we can't use the fans as because they don't make decisions. But if you as a board think, yo, Jose, you ain't even started the season yet, and you're talking about our chances like we've already lost and we haven't even kicked a ball, you have to act. No, this is what I'm saying. You no. You have to act because
you've been very ballsy to get rid of Jose at the start of the season.
But listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If you feel, because don't forget, Wood was there day in, day out. If you feel after those comments, let me see the reaction of the squad training. What's the energy?
But it was too short. You'd have to wait for the season to start and see.
Okay,
but it works or it doesn't.
But what I'm saying is that I'm being told that he lost the players from then.
Yeah, but that was in hindsight. So
no,
you can never say
no. But what I'm saying is you can say that from hindsight, but it started at the beginning of the season, really.
Yeah. In hindsight, we can see that it was at the start of the season. But for a board to get rid of Jose at the start of the season, it would have been a risk.
Listen, my thing was this. You finished second, yeah, with the same defenders that you had, with the best defense in the league, yeah. You go to next season. What did Jose say? No. Listen. You're going on to listen.
We're not the best defense in the league. We park the bus. That is what we are. It's not that we're
what's
great
the best defense in the league?
We
the
park
team
the
that
bus.
can see the least amount of goals.
Yeah.
Because you park the bus.
But that's what it goes down in football. In football, it goes down as whoever can see the least amount of goals.
Stop looking at
you
stats.
have the best defense.
Stop. You're telling your
the numbers don't. If you're saying
still looking at stats.
If you look at the least goals conceded, that counts as the best defense.
No, there's something deeper than that.
So stop looking at
style
Solskjaer
of play.
stats.
Style of play. No, style of play counts. Style of play counts. If listen, you can have.
Oh, you mean if a team is set up defensively, they might not be the best defensive team, but they're just playing defensively.
So if they're set up defensively, how do they finish second with all the attacking?
You still have to
football that's going
outscore.
on? You still got to outscore your opponent somehow.
My point.
You still got to get more points than your opponent.
Because the thing is, we're going to talk about Jose now because we're still going to talk about. I want to talk about
What was the
Rashford.
gap in points between second?
Oh no! Don't listen. That's why that leads led me to my next point. My next point was that's why he said we need to get reinforced with the defenders and get better defenders because this season this season that we just finished second. That's why he said it's one of my greatest accomplishments because with these man,
You know what?
With these
Wait.
man, we got the best.
You know that you
record.
see that what you just said there, yeah. That how when Jose said this was my best achievement, yeah. Haven't seen the last 3 games. Does it look that much of an achievement?
No, it was
looking at what the team has done, basically.
No.
Listen,
Do you know
listen,
where
once
coach?
again,
Do you know where
once
coach is?
again,
Do you know where coach is
once
losing
again.
it? Let me show you where he's not realizing. Under Solskjaer right now, if Solskjaer had these players, these so-called players right now, how much do you think before Solskjaer came in? Yeah, let's say he had a little bit of an extended period, period in charge. Who do you think will come and buy Jones? After seeing what, or some of our defenders, after seeing what they've been doing with Jose, who would have been, who could you have, spit wiped and shined and made them presentable and look like something in January?
If he didn't take a pay cut, no one. But if he did, he did. Then,
So the style of play, if the guy, if instead of making having to make 20 challenges in a game, you only have to make, 8 or 9 under another manager, suddenly the chances of you being able to look like a better defender goes up. And under Solskjaer, that's the whole point because the emphasis is not on defense, where I believe our greatest weakness is. And that's where I'm trying to say, Jose effed up from the beginning. Because if you just listen, don't get twisted. There's voices in and around United that have been screaming the same in the club that have been screaming the same thing. Solskjaer is a Fergie appointment. Ferguson's obviously told Woodward, "Yo, go and grab this guy, bring him in here temporarily."
the feel good factor back.
Same Fergie that bought Moyes, but not everyone. I didn't call him perfect. He's come in and he instantly has done something that we required. If you're as a United fan, for you to be trying to say same Fergie that, are you not happy with what you're seeing?
What do you mean?
Are you not happy with what you're seeing?
No, I'm happy, but I'm realistic with what I'm seeing. I'm not going overboard.
Who's
Right now, Samuel, who's going overboard? Come on, these 4 games that we're gonna have. Well, with the 3 games that we've had, everyone's been overboard and made. Oh, it's a new style.
Yeah, what's been overboard about it?
When you have to come back from losing positions.
He's let them off the leash. It's cool to let them off the leash against Cardiff, Huddersfield, and Bournemouth. What I'm saying is that I will start judging them from Spurs. When we go away to Spurs, I will start judging them.
Can I ask
then
something?
guess what? No, before you ask me something.
But Jose won't let them off the leash.
What I'm saying,
Period.
What I'm saying is, if it's so great that he's let them off the leash, why are we not giving him the full-time job now?
Oh, come on, it's still too early.
You're bonkers.
It's too early.
It's too early.
Okay, so if it's too early, why are we judging him now about
No
the
one's
brand of
judging him
football,
yet.
the this,
No
the
one's.
that,
We're just seeing what's in
can
front of
judge.
us. Like the thing is, yeah.
I told you off the podcast. Did the players have any choice but to play better?
No,
They had no because
The wrong questions are being asked
because
right
of the
now.
change of manager straight away. The manager has been getting all the flack. Now the manager's been removed from the situation. Now players, the manager's gone now. What are you now going to say? Are you going to show us that it was the manager, or are you going to show us that it was you guys that were the problem? So what happens now? You get these next 3 games: Cardiff, Huddersfield, and Bournemouth. You've been balling. You're playing attacking football.
The thing is, yeah. Let me ask about how you're saying the Tottenham game, yeah. Like,
That's a good barometer, I think.
because the thing is, it's a good barometer, yeah, definitely. But with that, yeah, teams like Liverpool, Spurs for the most part, City, they're getting rid of these teams outside the top 6, yeah. And our record, if you look at Jose's record against the top 6, it wasn't that bad. It was these games that we were fumbling, that we were getting draws at home, that we were losing away. We were losing that Brighton away, Huddersfield away last season.
And where do you collect the bulk of your points in a season?
Outside the top six games.
Listen.
See how you're saying you're going to judge off Tottenham, yeah? No one's saying that United are going to be the world class.
This is what I'm saying. Are you knighting Solskjaer over 3 games that he's come in and just changed everything around?
No one is.
Okay, but this is my point. So how comes the players right now, the same players, can now turn it around within these 3 games? Is it Solskjaer? Let's listen. Is it Solskjaer or is it the players? Because if you're blaming, I
think it's a system, maybe.
No. If you're blaming Mourinho, you have to credit Solskjaer. Correct?
I get what you're saying.
Do you understand
You're
what-
saying
because
if it's a manager, then it's a manager.
Then it's the manager.
Then
Is it the
blame
players
Mourinho
or is it
and
the
praise
manager?
Solskjaer.
Which one is it?
I think it's a joint effort.
It's always a combination.
Okay,
That's
okay.
right.
I
I'm
think
saying
we should go
Solskjaer's
give our
been here.
opinions, you know.
Solskjaer's been here for what, 3 weeks? 2 weeks? Are you telling me he's that much of a better manager than Jose Mourinho? Yeah, to get these players playing how they play now. Is that what you're telling me?
Yep.
That's what you're telling me. Okay.
Wait, what are you saying?
Okay.
I'm saying.
Solskjaer's a better
I'm
manager than Mourinho.
saying.
No, you didn't say that.
I'm saying all by myself, Jose missed a trick. He came in and his attitude
100% I agree.
he missed a trick. It was a simple and easy solution, and he tried to apply the most long type of maths to try and solve this problem.
Listen, like no one's saying Jose Mourinho is a bad. You can't say Jose Mourinho is a bad manager. He's a bad manager. But his record. You have to look at his record when he wins, and you have to look at his record when he messes up as well. He would have done you lot like Chelsea. You lot are forgetting that this last season they finished at 10th. 14th. That's what would have happened to you, man.
But I don't forget
That's
that.
what would have happened to you.
I don't forget that. Who do I always
You
blame?
have to say, and it's the same pattern. The same pattern. He lost the players. He came out in the press talking about him. He got egotistical talking about me. Starting defensive.
But
Trying
who
to
do I
pop. Do
always
you know what I'm
blame?
trying to say? It's
But
the
who do I
same
always blame?
thing. It's the
You've
same
always been the
thing.
boss. So do you want
always blame the
to talk about how we spoke about it last time?
No, don't jump onto the ball because you've let him try and establish the point that it's not the manager. We have to give them. My thing is Pogba and other players were basically alluded to not being good enough. I've made 2 points. I want it to sink
Good
in.
enough for what?
Look,
Though?
okay, hold on.
No, finish your point properly though. Good enough for what?
I'm finishing my point.
For what? Good enough for what?
Are you finished?
No, but good enough for what?
Okay, let me tell you. The majority of the points that finish you, if you're not able to beat Tottenham, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, the majority of the points that you need to collect are with the rest of the guys, the rest of the teams. And if Solskjaer's going to play a brand of football that will accumulate more points for us to finish higher up the table, then the minimum we'll be doing is finishing in 4th. Or maybe 3rd and a few. If you were to lose to the top 6,
Can I ask
the
you
rest
something?
of the games
Can
to
I
the
ask
top
Kev something?
6.
Can I ask Kev something?
Now the style of play, where it comes to our advantages, the style of play that we're playing for the majority of the Premiership sides is better under Solskjaer than it ever was under Jose, because Jose was going to poor teams and telling us to park the bus. Poor team, embarrassing the name of United is what he did in the end, because he was making you frustrated, and we were struggling comebacks against teams.
Newcastle 2-0 down at Old Trafford.
How?
Listen,
How does it happen, Sway? How?
I understand in this day and age, in this social media age, everyone wants to be entertained before results. I get that now. It's a new day. If you entertain and finish 5th, it's all good. I'm a Man United fan that's not interested in that. If you play boring football and win the title, I'd rather have that than play entertaining football and finish in 4th. That's just my
Problem is when you're playing boring football and you're in 6th.
That's why I said to you before, I always go back to the board. Board, you know what this guy is about. Kev did say in previous podcasts, he's a BMF manager. If he's a BMF manager and Kev knows that, surely the board must know that. So you either give him the money, cool. We're not going to give him the money because we didn't give him the money in the summer. Cool, no problem. Board, just get rid of him. And they've got rid of him. They've got rid of him now.
Before we come off this whole kind of managerial topic, this debate, if you're the board now, all right, what do? Do you first of all, do you give Solskjaer the permanent? What would it take for Solskjaer to get the permanent? What would it take for Solskjaer to get the permanent? And also, what would you do in terms of the transfers?
Let me say, he's the last thing he said with the board. You see the board, they're a lot smarter than a lot of people give him credit for. Now, I was out of frustration. I said Jose is a dead manager. Yet, to be honest with you, he's one of the best tacticians there's ever been in football. tactically, sometimes he gets it spot on where teams can get results where they have no right to get results. Jose's shown that he's one of the best at that. So going to play a PSG and everything was ticking and Jose was in position, he can come up with a tactical plan to beat a side they have no right to beat. You have to give it to him there. So you can understand the board turning around and trying to explain and when this BMF manager, as I called him, said, please change your philosophy and change your outlook. Because,
Why? Why?
Because the times have changed. When you bid 95 million for Koulibaly and Napoli say 2 middle fingers, that means things have changed.
When was that reported, by the way?
That has been reported clear as
On Sky
daylight.
Sports?
Oh, Sky, the Napoli, what do you call him? Is it the chairman or he turned around and said, we have had a world record bid for Koulibaly. And we all know that's who this guy wanted. And he even went to as far as saying, I am not talking, it's disrespectful to talk about other things. I'm just explaining. You asked me a direct question, I said it.
So with my question about the board, what would you do now? So what would it take for Solskjaer to get the permanent role for you, coach? And also, if you're the board, so talk about that
So
first.
the first thing that, once again, when you analyse United, the first thing is they want to get a director of football. That's number one. That's what Jose didn't want, and they didn't like that he fought back about that. So they want to get a director of football. That's going to let me know what their thinking is. So if you're going to go director of football route, the route, you're going to go on that route. For me, the manager that's coming in that you want, I'm sure they got a list of managers that they want. That's why they appointed an interim to see how things go. They don't want to rush it. They want to look, blah blah blah. If you're going to do
properly
that,
this time, basically.
if you're going to do that, you have to sit down with this manager's agent or whatever it says. Say, listen, if we're going to get a director of football, what director of football would he want in place so he can work with? So Woodward can stay doing the sponsorship, Chivas, beer, Mexico, whatever he wants to do, bring the money in, and this director of football and the manager can work together, bring in the players.
I think that's happening slightly because we're in talks with Paul Mitchell,
That's what I'm saying. So Paul Mitchell's supposed to be Pochettino's guy. That's what he's supposed to. So that'll be a big indication as to where they want to go with the club.
But I'm saying, as the season goes on, let me give you the scenario. Man United get past PSG. This is the scenario, guys, Man United get past PSG in the last 16. Man United win the FA Cup. Man United come top 4.
You've got to give him the job.
Would you give him the job?
You've got to give it to him. My opinion. You've got to give it to him.
Because we've seen this. Di Matteo came into Chelsea and won the Champions League. The next season he came, the gas went out and he was gone.
I mean, he's also not a legend at Chelsea, but
And
he was
depends
very
on how Man United actually play. Not forget about the result. It's how they actually play. The performances on the pitch. If he fixes that, gotta give him a
even
job.
you're not bigger than that.
So you're just saying style of play. So not even win anything.
Even
Just the improvement, the quality of your football. Like, does he fix the defensive issues? Does he fix certain things? If he does that and gets you top 4, he has to be considered for the job.
even bigger than style of football. What manager is going to get on with Pogba?
No. This tag is getting a bit mad. Deschamps had Pogba in World Cup.
But you say the reason why Deschamps can keep a leash on Pogba. Come on, you ain't the only guy around here. You're not the only guy in this French squad. So if you want to act up, no problem, Pogba. You're a main player, but you're not the only player. At Man United, let's be real. Look at the squad.
I think that's harsh on Pogba that he's kind of like a clash.
No, what I'm saying is that it's not a clash. What I'm saying is that Pogba, listen, you have to analyse your whole club. This is why I get frustrated. It's not just about the football. It's about sponsors. It's about this. It's about that. Adidas have a say in what Man United do. At the end of the day, people. No, listen. You say he's got that deep. Guess what? No, listen. Let me tell you something. This is fact. If Man United don't make the Champions League this season,
What's that got to do with anything, man?
Adidas do not give their 75 million to Man United this season. Have you heard that? Have you heard that?
Pogba.
That is fact. So if they have that sort of power, that if you don't make Champions League football, we don't give you this much.
No, go on.
They don't give you this amount of football. They will have say so. But if you bring a manager in that is not going to get along with Pogba or whatever.
But wait, okay, like even just Solskjaer, this post-match
Solskjaer's
interview.
coached him before.
Yeah, exactly. And what did Pogba say? He said, when they tried to line him up. Jeff Hughes tried to line him up and say, "What's the difference between Jose or the previous manager and this manager?" And he said, "Just this manager, he lacks an offensive style of play. We want to play attacking." So it seems like he is on board.
He said it in the correct way.
So what I'm saying, so we can stop doing as Man United fans clamoring for the Pochettino thing, because I know you're Pochettino.
I want Pochettino.
Cool. So what I'm saying is that right now, if he does what you just said, he did, in hypothetically, if he does that, he's got a good chance of getting a job.
Right, cool.
He's got a very good chance of getting a job.
Cool. Just before we come off this United topic, because we've been on it for a while, yeah. Rashford played very well today.
Yeah.
Has played well since Solskjaer's coming. Ollie is singing his praises, saying this guy could be one of the best, yeah?
Crazy, not singing.
Fam, why are you anti-United or what's going on?
What I'm saying is that you guys have to, just like Kev said about the whole PR, this, that, you have to understand why Solskjaer's been brought in. Like let's not.
Anyway,
he's not coming to criticize anyone.
Okay, yeah, he's not rustling any feathers.
He's not gonna criticize.
He's not gonna rock the boat.
anyone.
But with Rashford, he said after the game,
Why do you feel the need for anyone to be criticised? Please explain to me what is going in your mind that players need to be criticised.
Right now, if Rashford was 4 chances in the game and misses 3 and scores 1 or whatever, but he's supposed to be a main striker of Man United, you know that's not good enough to the standards that we keep. But Solskjaer's not going to come out and say that. I'm saying he's interim for a reason.
Not Jose Mourinho.
No, but what I'm saying, he's been
He's not Jose.
Wait.
That's what Jose does, and that's not what you do to a young developing player. You don't do that, innit?
I remember the game Champions League, yeah, where Rashford missed. Jose turns around to his bench. Like, did you just see that? Like, what is this?
No, but do you know why he turned around? Do you know why he turned around to his bench though?
Why?
And I explained it before.
Why?
It's because you guys keep blaming him for this player missing chances.
You know why?
You guys keep blaming him.
Sentence.
You guys keep saying
why?
Rashford. You keep saying it's
Like,
Mourinho's
there's ever
fault.
a
Why he can't
situation where
score?
that's acceptable.
but
But even with the whole Lukaku thing, when he plays Rashford and he's saying, I mean, you guys wanted me to play Rashford. Look now.
No, listen.
If you ever come out and say,
If he was different, you can't compare.
you
everyone
can.
to
That's
Mourinho.
why he's out of a job.
Let me explain something. I saw something in the news. Yeah, I saw something that Martial missed a flight back to thing. That's why he was dropped from the last game. Yeah. Solskjaer did the classic Fergie. Oh, he's injured.
Yeah, I love that. I love
that
that.
Turkey thing. That was classic.
You haven't got to be
Fergie.
that transparent, basically.
He basically lied to the press to tell them, oh, that's the reason
Even-
why.
even-
But the truth is, he got punished. The truth is, he punished him and told him, you missed your flight. Yeah, you're not coming. You're not playing.
Even with
You're
Sanchez, even with Sanchez, they said he was out. Sanchez wasn't injured like that. He wasn't injured. He's back. He's training.
Ozil as well. Injured.
What was your original question? What was your-
Yeah. So wait. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, Rashford.
Lukaku.
Rashford or Lukaku, because it seemed like Redknapp, Bellamy, Louis Saha, Carragher, Neville. They were all saying today.
It's English anyway, so
They were all saying
But what
Rashford
I'm-
to be the number.
but
9.
what I'm saying is that with Man United, it doesn't have to be either or.
No.
I think you don't have to be. There's certain games that you might need Lukaku.
agree.
Certain games you might need Rashford.
Wait, coach, I said this, and you were saying no, Lukaku. I remember I said you can play
said-
different.
You said when you was messaging me on the side, you were saying Rashford has to be on number 9.
No. I remember I was saying it doesn't always have to be Lukaku. I said it could be Sanchez sometimes. It could be even Martial can play
You're
number 9.
saying-
Rotate. It doesn't have to be.
No, what I'm saying is that you're saying depending on what game it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I was saying.
agree.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
But who would you prefer? Okay, I know you're saying for different games.
It's per game.
Yeah, okay, I get
So,
it.
but I know everyone will prefer. Well, most United fans would prefer Rashford. Number 1, he's homegrown. He's a talented player. He
runs between the lines.
He runs in between the lines. He runs in between.
Our style of play is
Yes.
is good.
With Martial and Lingard, the way they move, it complements Rashford a bit more. Do you know what I'm saying? But sometimes in certain matches, you need that focal point
I agree.
as well. You need that focal
But
point.
that focal point has to hold the ball up, though. That's the thing.
Listen to what I'm saying. A focal point doesn't mean you just hold up the ball. A focal point might mean a player.
headers and
No, because you know when you play Martial, Rashford, and Lingard, sometimes if you watch the match closely, sometimes 2 of them out of the 3 are always sometimes in the same position.
100%. Yeah.
Sometimes you see that, and
Yeah,
it happens
yeah.
because when you rotate, it happens.
yeah.
But with Lukaku, you know.
It does.
But when they're in, there's an interlink with
Interchange,
when
yeah,
they when
yeah,
they're able
When there
to,
are times when they're
they're
together.
able to do the one touch touch and move and pass and move. And Lukaku can't do that. You're not watching it. Are you watching the football?
So what are you saying?
I'm saying.
Wait,
Lukaku,
so what are you saying about?
If you put Lukaku, I believe. Listen, today, yeah, I felt sorry for Nathan. Nathan Ake was we injured him. First, Rashford stretched him by making him do too many sprint work. Then when Lukaku came on and finally started giving him the hard shoulders and giving him the strength and wrestling, his body, that's the reason why it came up. He was feeling I saw him feeling his hamstring and stuff up after Rashford, and I saw Rashford looking at him. I'm watching all of this, I'm thinking, Ake's done way too many full-blown sprints today.
Because Rashford made him.
Because, Marcus made him run and sprint. Then afterwards, Lukaku came on, and then the first thing he does, budge him on a challenge with a ball hit over the top. I'm thinking, poor Ake, man.
Yeah, but so do you see what Lukaku brings as well?
Yeah. But the majority, where you're saying about the play where Lingard is, because our system, if you analyze it, he's playing the wing backs. We can all see are playing right forward to Ash. So again, Ashley Young's strengths. He's going forward. We know he was a former winger. We don't want him to focus his whole entire game on defensive capabilities. We want him to get forward. Then you've got Matic and Herrera, who are predominantly made to sit and work.
Yeah.
Then Pogba is given the license to be free and create.
Then you've got Shaw on the
Then
other
you've got
side.
Lingard, who is working, running into channels with Rashford, going left, right, stretching the team. And then Martial is just a threat on that wing. It works. The system works. How much money did you pay Jose Mourinho? Couldn't analyze this in 2.5 seasons.
Solskjaer said he watched every game because he's a United fan. He said from
And I
Norway,
believe him.
he watched every
I
game.
believe him.
But this is my thing when Kev talks so passionately about Jose couldn't realise it and Solskjaer's coming and realise it. Should we give Solskjaer the job right now?
At the
Silence. You see
moment,
what
at the
I'm
moment,
saying?
no. At the moment,
Why not now?
no.
Why do we have to?
No, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Listen,
All the great things he said about Solskjaer
This is
within
why I
2
love our
weeks.
board and I don't like coach.
Listen.
Our boards have
love
sense.
our board.
Listen, hold on, yes. Our board, no, hold on, 1 second. No, hold on.
Because we're going to come off this. We got 1 minute. We're going to come off this.
One second. At this moment in time, from what coach is saying, he's making it seem as if there's only two, like a A and B scenario.
We haven't got to
but
do
we
anything
didn't
right
have.
now.
We don't have an A and B scenario. I heard we still spoke to Zidane because what if Pochettino brings us down? Remember that Fabregas situation where Fabregas brought us all the way round to the end of the thing and they told us no, I'm not coming.
Who do you want?
I've already said I've agreed with someone and I said Pochettino simply for the reason that if Woodward goes down the line of getting the chief executive in, director of football and Pochettino, that partnership, I feel like the United, the way football is going in the way it's going, you cannot buy ready-made anymore. It will finish your purse. Your purse will be finished if you do that and try and do that. And anyone that cannot see, because I hate people that live look into the future. Football is going in the direction. The money's so crazy. You're gonna have to build your own.
Goalkeepers are
You're gonna
75
have
mil.
to. You're gonna.
Zidane coaches young players as well. You know?
Yeah. So but I know that proven wise.
Zidane's not proven, man. I can't take that risk.
Proven wise, if you're asking me, me a specific question, I say for that simple reason, I would have gone with I would go with Pochettino.
Cool. That's enough United talk. Dash. Come on, let's talk about it, man. Arsenal, they've been on a good run recently, but the most recently, it just seems to have slowed down. Like the Emery gas has slightly kind of run out. Let's talk about Liverpool, Arsenal, 5-1.
It's not even Emery gas. It's Arsenal, man. Arsenal needs where do I start, man?
Bro, because you've been enjoying eating popcorn with this United talk.
I've had enough. Basically, I've had
of what? Let me ask you. Of what?
Arsenal,
Wait.
The club, the way the club is run, I've had enough in it. I've had enough. It's like we're a banter club now, and I've had enough of it. Like no team, no big club in world football gets embarrassed as many times as Arsenal, and it's enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like it's a joke thing, bro. Brighton don't get embarrassed like that.
Brighton go to Anfield and shut up shop.
Liverpool have played all the small teams, and those small teams don't get embarrassed. Like, it's enough.
So wait, what do you think it is like?
Listen, yeah, the people that run Arsenal, yeah, they don't realise that all this. Okay, Arsenal, yeah, we're a big club based on our support. We've got one of the biggest fan base out there, so that gasses them up. They think that no matter what, we're a big club, so we can do what we want. But they're not realising that slowly the standards are slipping, and Arsenal are going to become a mid-table club. I keep telling Arsenal supporters that if we're not careful, we're going to become a mid-table club.
But you're entertaining, and it's good football.
It's not even that. It's not going to last. Do you know why? Yeah,
it's entertaining football.
My thing is, they got Emery in, yeah. They got Emery in, yeah, to come and take over Arsenal. And they told Emery, we've only got 50 million kit. But what kind of a joke thing is that?
You keep passing coach the mic.
Like, bro, how can a big club, yeah, like Arsenal, yeah, that's so commercially successful, we have money in the bank. How can they come and tell the new manager, oh, we've only got 15 mil?
No, but from what you said,
yes. Can I say something to come back at you with that? And I asked Samuel this off the podcast as well. Is it a thing where they couldn't give him the 50? I don't want to make excuses for the board because I'm fully on you in terms of Stan Kroenke.
Okay.
Is it a thing where, don't forget, the takeover happened in the summer, and Kroenke had to pay Usmanov off for his shares of money. So is it a thing where he's paid Usmanov his shares for his money? You know Kroenke's tight anyway, and he said, listen, this is what we got for this summer because I've had to pay Usmanov to go away, and he has had to pay Usmanov top dollar. Usmanov ain't taking no discounts. You pay me the top dollar share price for my 30% to own your 100% or whatever it is. I've given him that money up front because Usmanov ain't taking no back end money. He wants that money up front. So he's giving him those millions up front, and then there's not enough to give Emery.
When has there ever been enough? What are you talking about? When has there ever been enough?
I'm just saying.
Bro, it's not that, innit? Because Arsenal are run on a self-sufficient model, innit? As in, we spend what we make. That's how the club is structured. Fine, I have no problem with that. But my problem is, if you're transitioning into a new era, there has to be an exception. You have to say, okay, we're transitioning into a new era. We have to back this new manager and kick off the new era. But bro, Liechtenstein are on a free. Are you taking a piss?
So they got to back the manager.
They have to back them. They have to back financially. I'm not talking.
Like
I don't care, bro. They have to back the manager. It's a joke. It's embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing.
No, you can't be saying Jose. Jose had 2 years.
I'm not saying
don't put Jose in there. Let me ask you, yeah, because the thing is, a video circulating around of Gary Neville saying, I don't know why people are panicking. Yeah. No. They say, I don't know why people are panicking. Give this guy like 3 or 4 windows. He's got a system he wants to play where he plays out from the back, yeah? He's not going to change it because what Gary Neville said was that the mistake he made when he went to Valencia, yeah? When things weren't going right, so like you see how things are going wrong now, it seems like an Arsenal, the mini crisis. He changed it up and said, all right, guys, hoof the ball forward. Like, let's just get the ball to the striker. And the Valencia players were saying, hold on, since you've come here for the past couple months, you've been telling us to play out from the back. Now you're changing it. So it was detrimental. So what he was saying was, Emery, the worst thing he can do now is try and change it. So keep on playing the way he's playing in the system. And the players that don't cut it, that don't make the cut, eventually, not over one window, but eventually, they'll start to come at the club. The board gonna back him with what he was.
Everyone's gone. We're going in circle. We're going in turns. I want to be. This is mainly a question towards you. Yeah.
Finish my question first before you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So what are the board gonna back him with that basically? So what he wants to do in terms of getting rid of the players and bringing the players in for his system. So how guys can't play out from the back like Czech and all those guys, he'll move them on. But eventually he's gonna have to replace them.
The problem is, yeah, like I agree with you, Arsenal fans, yeah. Like I agree, Arsenal fans are deluded. I've been saying one Arsenal fan that I agree with is Nessie. I agree with him in the sense that no one realised how bad the restructuring job at Arsenal is. There's so many players at Arsenal that are not good enough. Like Arsenal fans want to gas and say this. The quality is a quality thing. They're not good enough to do what Emery wants them to do. They were not good enough under Wenger. What's been happening under Arsenal is that slowly the quality level has been dropping and been steadily dropping over the years. Standards have been dropping. Xhaka. Would Xhaka start for Brighton?
Xhaka got, but the thing is, Xhaka got...
Aaron Moy for Huddersfield is a better player than Granit Xhaka.
But bro, you bought Xhaka for... You know that same season, that same window you bought Xhaka, yeah? He went for 34 or whatever. Kante went for cheaper to Chelsea.
Terrible.
So yeah, it was
Bro,
not, you not bought them though.
We bought them, but it's like
Not on the cheap is what I'm saying. Kante was cheaper. That
Okay.
same season, Kante went.
That's why.
Let's not give too much smoke for that, because we at United, many teams make these same mistakes and make purchases
What was your
that don't
question?
make
What was you gonna
sense.
say to him?
Just analyzing it, because I think Dash is basically showing you that he's analysed it properly in my eyes. Emery's come and he's got a system of style of play that I believe it's obviously works and it makes a lot of sense. However, certain players are not cutting it. I feel like a piece of me is like, is Emery has he got a bigger plan with what he did with Liverpool? Because the Emery system could have worked with better players against Liverpool.
What was he trying to do?
You know that the whole press thing, even back to the goalkeeper, because they were making some ridiculous mistakes.
Liverpool.
Arsenal. Arsenal were making some. You could see there was a lack
prior
of
when
quality.
Arsenal when before Arsenal scored, Liverpool were making mistakes in the front at the back. Arsenal were pressing.
we were pressing them.
But whose mistakes told in the end? Who was making far more mistakes?
Yeah.
Possessionally, Arsenal don't have.
Possession wise.
Yeah, like you don't have a commanding player of the ball like a Pogba or give me other players like City have. You can point at loads of other clubs with more quality on the ball. You just point in the case in point, Xhaka. Yeah, quality wise, he's not that good. And you would need a better quality to play his style and his system. Exactly. He's pursued with it. He didn't something that was what made me think. I'm like, but everyone could have told you that wasn't going to work against Liverpool. And I could have known, because I definitely knew that, because I said this is gonna if Emery goes and tries to play away he's been playing against Arsenal, you lot are gonna get smoked. And then what did he do? I was shocked to see he went and did it.
What did you expect him to do?
No, I expected him to change it up. But afterwards, on hindsight, I was like, was this an exercise in who the flip I need to get out of the window?
I 1000% agree with you. I think that's what Emery has been doing.
I think he took it
since
up.
he came to Arsenal. As in, when he first came,
He's basically showing the board like,
bro. When he first came, Peter Cech. He insisted on Peter Cech. Told you
because if he got rid of him at the start, they'll say, it's too harsh.
He's not,
like, let them show themselves.
Then this constant chopping and changing, people keep saying it's because he has to. He has to do. They're not good enough. And one thing is one thing that I said to an Arsenal fan is that every top, like you see Liverpool, they had to sell Coutinho to fund their Van Dijk and Keita and that, because they had that quality player. Every top 5 team has at least 1 or 2 assets.
Ozil was supposed to be yours, you know.
I'm so upset. Name me one Arsenal player that will
Ozil was
generate
supposed to
more
be
than
yours.
20 million.
Ozil was supposed to be yours.
But he's not. He's not that. He's not consistent. To me, Ozil's not world class because he's not consistent enough. Simple as.
Well, we're going to talk about him getting
not
left back.
consistent
We're
enough.
going to talk about him getting
Can I
left
say
back.
something about Arsenal? I think also, and I never back Arsenal. I don't really care about that club. But I would say for someone like someone like Emery, he needs Bellerin. He needs Monreal. He needs Holding.
Did you ever think you hear you need Bellerin?
No, what I'm saying.
Bellerin
What I'm
works
saying.
in his
No, but what I'm
system.
saying is that everything for him to do something this season, he needs, even if they're not his players, he needs all of them. He can't afford to have 3 injured defenders.
Wenger's been having injuries for years, though.
No, what I'm saying, forget Wenger. He's
I'm
gone
just
now.
saying,
He's
for
gone.
years he's
But
been having bare
gone.
injuries.
He's gone.
You're saying he needs players.
He's
like Wenger
gone.
didn't.
What I'm saying is that Emery, he needs he can't have the injuries that he has right now. He can't have them.
Shout out to
Can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say? No, definitely. Just to say something I analysed. I've analysed in the last few minutes. You know, if you don't have pacey defenders, you're pissed as a top club right now.
100%.
It's but it's even more evident now more than ever.
Football's too fast,
because
man.
the way Liverpool's were sprinting past your defenders, hence why they were saying Bellerin. And I was like, you're saying Bellerin because his pace wouldn't allow some of the way they were running.
It was a crossfoot passes. It was a crossfoot passes they were doing.
Running past him like he was like, bruv, you're not even there. And in his day, he was quick, but like you said, he's an old player. But if you're recruiting now, one of the first boxes you need to tick is
defender.
pace, because everything everything we're saying Van Dijk right now, he's got the number 1 spot in defender. Do you know his recovery is ridiculous, even against the quickest.
We rarely see it because he doesn't even.
He actually glides. He sprints in the pot. Yes, like Rio in his prime.
Carragher called him the Roger Federer of defense.
He literally sprint, and that's because you don't see the expression and effort in his face, because he blasts out of the blocks. Then he makes sure, I've covered this. I've done all the work.
In terms of recruitment, though, shout out Dapo, Arsenal insider. He's saying that supposedly Emery is gonna get Banega in January. So that's a ball player.
But that's to replace Ramsey, because we all know Ramsey's heading out the window, innit? But my thing is this year, like, unfortunately with Emery and Arsenal, we're just gonna have to play the long game, innit? We have to play the long game.
How the board gonna play it with you? That's what I'm trying to get at.
But
They brought him in.
But my fear.
Yeah, but my thing was. Are the board gonna back him? My thing was when they got rid of Wenger, that they're gonna try and find a manager. This was my theory at the time. They're gonna try and find a manager that's just like, not that they can control, but he's not gonna rustle feathers. So you see how Jose threw his toys at the prem. They're not backing me. He's gonna have someone that's just gonna be like, yeah.
And that's why I said at the beginning of the season, whether people want to believe me or not, it was clear that Arteta was ahead of him. It was clear that Allegri was ahead of Emery.
I know if he wouldn't have had it, I don't think.
No, but what I'm saying, them guys were candidates before Emery became available. Emery wasn't the number 1 candidate.
No punk. Don't ever get twisted. Emery ain't no punk.
Listen.
Emery ain't no punk.
Samuel, do you think when Arsenal got rid of Arsene Wenger, in their dreams they had Emery as number 1 target?
No.
That's what I need to know. That's what I need.
Because it was shown that they were trying to go for other.
You're saying I'm an Arsenal fan. I know exactly what you're talking about, innit? The way, regardless of Emery, and the way Arsenal run the club is how they run the club. It's not going to change, innit?
Yeah, which means they needed a manager that's not going to disturb that.
What I'm trying to say is, if you're transitioning into a new era, you have to back because you're doing almost you're pressing the reset button.
You can't have a new manager. You can't have a new era. Same players. Basically, that's what you're saying.
Exactly.
That was a Wenger performance yesterday.
Wenger players.
In what sense?
Listen,
Explain the scenario
Wenger,
in which they needed to back him. Like how should they?
Wenger, the board need to realize that this Wenger era and this Wenger's players, they're not good enough. You can't come and bring a coach and say, try and coach these players, make them better, and we'll. No, they're not. You can clearly see by the way Emery is going about things that he's not comfortable with some of these players, isn't it? They're not his players. They're not good enough.
So do you think as an Arsenal fan, when Emery come, obviously he's given a new contract, new team, that he should be backed?
He should be. It
sounds familiar. I'm just saying.
It don't sound familiar. Emery hasn't had 2 years of spending 100 and something million.
Our situation is different from yours. Our situation is a lot different from my.
You're trolling.
And you see what I'm talking about here.
It's trolling.
It's not trolling at all, because their situation is completely different.
Jose had 2 years of playing money.
Nobody that's gonna say
Yeah, go.
Like a lot of these Arsenal players, if they leave Arsenal, do you know where they'll end up?
They're getting down.
So what I'm saying is the Arsenal players now, the majority of them are Wenger players.
They're Wenger.
And they're not only back him to get rid of him.
No, not only Wenger players, they're not. Because part of the big problem, with Wenger is that his gauge on quality was like he lost the ability to determine what a quality player was, innit? This is the same guy that was telling us, he's the quality player. Bruv, he told us this squad of players are one of the best squad of players he's ever had. This came out of Wenger's mouth.
Okay, so what I'm saying, I'm asking you as an Arsenal fan,
these players are some of the best players.
Is there anyone from that?
No. He said that many times that these players they have some of the best mentality I've ever seen. Bruv, they're just.
Is there anyone from that Wenger era that you think they should keep?
Loads.
No, you're an Arsenal fan, so you answer.
That they should keep at the club, not sell, not get.
So don't put Aubameyang in there. That's not Wenger guys.
Yeah,
the Wenger guys, the original.
The ones that are
the
there,
Bellerins, the Iwobis.
Yeah. Who do you think that they should keep?
None. Not one of them is under scrutiny.
But why don't you think they should keep them? Why?
Because they're not good enough.
So they're not good enough, so you should get rid of them for the new manager.
I would
Is that what you feel?
Listen, okay. I'm not a licensed coach, innit?
You don't need to be a licensed
I'm not a coach.
Basically, if you don't know what coaches do, they're trying to. I'm calling it out. he's trying to compare United's situation with Jose about the board not backing him and getting rid of the players. But what's my Arsenal? What's my Arsenal?
Everyone's had their bit. Dash right now is hurt, yeah, and he's obviously okay. No, yeah, Dash. Listen. In my point, listen.
What team loses 5-1?
Listen, let me explain. Let me go because the bite's coming straight back to you. It's clear that you're upset and you're a bit frustrated. For you to turn around, can I re-ask the question? Is there any Wenger players that are in this current squad that should not even be in your squad? They're not even an option for Arsenal Football Club. Please, because for me to turn around and say Ramsey doesn't even have a place in your squad is like, whoa. So what is your minimum level?
Okay, apart from Lacazette and Aubameyang, yeah, I'm saying
Torreira, maybe.
He's not a Wenger player.
He's not a Wenger player. Apart from Aubameyang and Lacazette, yeah, I would say none of the Wenger players.
What about Holding?
None of the Wenger players, yeah.
No, you're laughing, but Holding was playing very well, you know.
This guy's.
No, I'm not battering. Was Holding playing well before he got injured?
Listen here.
Before he got injured, was Holding playing well?
Holding was our best defender.
He was playing well.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, yeah, quality-wise, we don't know what Rob Holding could become. He could
he be
become
a squad player?
Yeah, of course. He's a young player. I never turn my back. Okay, I would say I'll never give up on Holding, Maitland-Niles because they're young and they're developing in it.
Shout out Maitland-Niles, man.
Maitland-Niles is a baller in it.
And he's been playing DM for me.
Bro, he's a baller.
Yeah.
When he touches midfield, you see what that guy will
You're
do.
saying when, but Emery might not
When
seem
he
that way.
touches midfield, yeah, he's the future of our midfield, by the way.
You're saying when,
what
but
I'm
Emery might not
saying-
seem that way.
But what I'm saying is that, yeah, apart from, the young developing players and Aubameyang and Lacazette in it, I'd say none of the Wenger players are free from scrutiny. None of them can receive a bid for none of them and say, "Now they're important." No, anyone can
But
get
you
it.
feel
Anyone
this
can
is
get
what I'm
it.
trying to get from you.
Anyone
But
can get
you feel it's very important when a new manager comes in and you want to move on from the old manager that he should be backed to get his type of players in.
No. What
I'm
I'm saying,
asking.
what I'm saying is that our recruitment policy and the way we've been doing things, for under the Wenger era over the last couple of seasons has not been good enough.
You're talking about from the top.
And it's been telling. It's like the goose has come to roost, innit? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like over the last couple of seasons, our recruitment has been a shambles, innit? And we're only seeing it now. We're seeing the fruits of our labour, innit? And we're not good enough. So that's why I'm saying that the players we have now, they're not good enough. Like I said it last season and the season before.
I disagree, and I want to say a few points.
In
The period in which the Emery love affair was occurring, where everyone was enjoying him and saying, "Yeah, Emery's," because I heard the most gas. And listen. You've been consistent, but I'm going to talk about the majority because it's not just you out there. There's a lot of people that have been like Emery. And essentially what he did was make better use out than what Wenger was doing. So definitely,
He's a better coach.
which is why style of play counts for something. Because Wenger had had a couple of players that weren't there. There's been Torreira and who else? Who's the main other person that's coming to your side? That's
Leno, Socrates, yeah.
So all of those players have made this huge difference to what everyone, Arsenal fans were saying, plus the coach. For me, his style of play is improved. He's improved the side and got better usage out of a lot of them. And I feel like, to be honest with you, in general, Emery's come along. He's improved your style of play, and in a few transfers, you lot will be in a better position. And I think it just requires patience.
Can I ask one thing to the Arsenal fans? Can I ask? What did you expect this season from Arsenal? Nothing. No, I'm saying position in the table. What would have been minimum for you?
Nothing. And I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for other Arsenal fans. Can say top 4, top. I gave Emery a free pass this season.
Yeah.
And
So no matter where he ended up.
I gave Emery
He said
a
he's got a
season.
free pass.
He's got a free pass this season.
He said even if you don't finish top
4, I don't mind. I just want the transition to begin, innit? The change. I want the transition to begin. But my thing is this, like you're saying, all players and this and that. I like I said to you before Kevin was here, our transfer policy has been flawed, innit? A lot of these players, are not good. Even the players that Emery bought, they were from the bargain bucket, innit? Do you know what I'm trying? Let's be real, innit?
Guendouzi was.
Let's be real. Like, Guendouzi might work. Do you know, Torreira was a germ. But apart from that, Socrates, if Socrates didn't come to Arsenal, he could have gone to, I don't know, Wolves or Everton. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, we're Arsenal Football Club. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not good enough.
Do you think
it's not good enough?
Do you think
it's a joke thing?
Do you think
it's a joke thing?
That's what I always say about the head coach and the manager. Do you think Emery bought those players?
I think he had a say.
But do you think he bought them? I think having a say and actually saying, yes, this is who I want. Do you think he was the guy pushing the button?
I think
all the players that you
do you
bought
know why?
in
Do you know why?
Do you have a director of football? Any team that has a director of football has to have a conversation. If it's Jose Mourinho, then you buy him all by yourself. Otherwise, there's a conversation that has to be had.
The reason why I believe he had a big say in this place, because we knew before Emery came in that Arsenal, we only had a 50 million budget. We knew that. Emery knew that. So those players, if you tell man you've only got £5 to spend, innit, you're going to try and pick the best deal. So I see, it makes sense why he would bring Liechtensteiner experience from Juventus to come and help.
If you're going to give him 50 more, at least have a say of what.
Socrates, 60. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it makes sense because that's what he had to work with.
Before we move on, because we've got a lot, there's so much football today to talk about.
Christmas period.
Yeah, it's Christmas period. But before we come off this year, Ozil got left back home in London for the game. Not injured.
Knee injury.
Oh, was he injured?
They said.
Do you know?
I didn't know he was injured actually. But anyway.
Let's go with what we feel like. What's the real?
Yeah. So Ozil left behind. What does this spell for Ozil basically? And what does this show? Does Emery is Emery effing with this guy or
I'll
what?
tell you the truth, I couldn't give two shits about Ozil. I don't care about Ozil, bro. I don't care if Ozil leaves tomorrow. I don't care if he leaves on a free. I don't care if we only get 2 million for him. I don't care if he gets injured for the rest of the season. He's not good enough. Plain and simple. It's all well and good being fantastic in this game. Fantastic. Oh, look at that assist he gave in this game. And then you don't turn up for the next couple. I've had enough of him, Ramsey, all of them. The Wenger guys, they need to go play for Wenger in AC Milan, innit? Go through and go and reunite with Wenger and whatever.
But the issue,
I've had enough.
The issue with Ozil.
I want a new chapter in our history, and I want that for real, innit? I'm sick of seeing the same mentality, bruv. It's not coincidence. 5-1 against Liverpool twice in 2 seasons. 6-1. Man City will come slap us 6-1. This 8-2. Like, it's a joke thing, bro. I've had enough, innit?
But with Ozil, with Ozil, no. The issue is that he's got, you lot gave him a £350,000
That's
contract a week. No, but wait. So what I'm trying to say is, it's not as easy to get rid of him now. Because how long's that contract?
4 years.
4 years.
Take the loss.
Take
the loss, innit?
Who's gonna pay that?
You got to pay the contract off, and then the contract.
It is what it is. Take a hit, innit? You made a bad decision, innit? Like, take the hit. Because at the end of the day,
there's a way to do it, though. There's a simple way to do it. Financially,
Emery's going to keep pension because Emery don't like him.
No, they do. What they end up doing is they go, listen, because the contract is so stupid. We'll give him to you he's going for 15 million. And why? That's because
going to buy him
for 15 million.
They're not going to sell him for 15 million.
Listen, though, if a club's turning around and saying, listen, we're buying out the rest of your contract, so look, we don't want you. You'll be on the bench. You'll be a laughing stock. You better find your way to another country.
Basically, Emery needs to do what he did with Wilshere and them, and tell him, listen, it's like you're not in my plans. You're not in my plans.
Cool.
Those contracts are running out.
So Liverpool, man. So podcast, I think was number 3. Yeah. No, podcast 2. We had Coach and Kev on the podcast.
You're running away with it.
Yeah, so that was I was going to get to that.
Should we pick up? I'm sticking to my.
So wait, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm still sticking to my prediction.
Which is what?
City for the title.
Yeah. You said City were going to run away with it at the start. It doesn't seem that way.
I said City are going to run away with it. Yeah. And I still feel, but obviously it doesn't look that way. But I still have them to take the title because. Liverpool are showing a lot, but you know what? Let's just see them this Thursday.
No, we're gonna talk about that, but because we're still gonna talk about City's game against Southampton. You know what? Actually, yeah, let's talk about that.
Because
Let's talk about that.
Because in all honesty, yeah, looking at that Arsenal game, yeah, Arsenal did not give Aubameyang. I don't know why Aubameyang and Lacazette didn't both play together. To be honest with you, because I feel like those defenders needed work, and when the defenders need work, have that amount of pressure. The midfielders then have more of a defensive responsibility, and that means then your strikers have got to do all of their build-up play from just inside their half all the way to the goal.
But Liverpool can do that. Firmino can come deep
For the
for
whole
ball.
game.
Firmino can come deep for the ball and grab it.
But they were doing the majority of the possession. Who are the better possession-based side? Liverpool or City?
Yeah, Man City.
For me.
Yeah.
So then what we're going to see is a very different game to the one we've seen. And that's what, anyway, it's not even that only reason why I picked them, because I feel like they've just got a better equipped squad and the experience to be able to do it again. Liverpool are going to reach that critical moment in February, March. That's uncharted territory.
Well, you know, I was saying they're gonna reach that moment in December, and they seem to pass that now.
December, yeah. Okay, there's been many.
No, because you know when the games come thick and fast, I thought maybe they haven't lost, bro.
Listen, a few seasons ago, Spurs were. I remember Spurs being on top of the Premiership, and it looked like, whoa. I think their side wasn't that strong, so people kind of knew that they're gonna get pulled back. But the styling football that, you know.
So what is it? Is it that basically City have proven winners in their team? They've won the title. That they know they know when it gets to crunch time.
In the major moment, they won't crumble. We know they won't crumble. They will go down all the way. If you're gonna beat City, if you're gonna have a run with City, you know they've got there's players in the side. Yeah. They've got players. Okay, Klopp has done something pretty amazing, yeah. Because anyone would have told you, bar this season, Shaqiri is not on that level. Why? Mentally, he's not got it. They'll turn around and say he's too inconsistent. He doesn't bring it. He shows you flashes and then you don't see it again for a few games, and then you show you another flash in it. Klopp has got him doing something different. You mean the jump that you would have to have players like Shaqiri make for Liverpool to win this season?
Big shout out to Robertson as well. Left back. Cold.
Yeah. They're playing, like I said, I'm a United fan. And I've tried to explain to coach that the Liverpool system going forward is the way forward. They've recruited well, and they've brought players through. There's no such thing as BMF managing anymore. And I hope Pep, if Fernandinho is a player that, like, Fernandinho gets injured in January, who can you go and buy to go and replace?
Thank you for leading me into what I was going to talk about as well. When you win the league, it's not always about your style of play. It's also down to luck as well. Yeah? Has Fernandinho been injured this season?
Yeah.
Has De Bruyne been injured this season?
Yeah.
Has Aguero been injured this season? That's had a big effect on City.
Van Dijk for me is key.
Van Dijk ain't been injured. Salah ain't been injured. Mane ain't been injured. Their main players have been consistent in their playing.
You need luck as well.
You need to have that. Let Sturridge. Listen, let Sturridge, Lallana, and Shaqiri play in that first 11 for 5-6 games straight, and you will see the points that Liverpool will drop, because they just don't have that quality. But once your quality players are consistent, like City was last year, they didn't really have no injuries, but the quality, but they blew everyone out the gates already. So that makes a big difference to that. It's just a 9-month season.
Quickly, is Van Dijk the best centre back in the world right now?
Yeah. It's the effortlessness of everything he's doing. I've not seen. He's doing what Rio used to do at a higher level. He's doing
at a higher level.
Yeah, because Rio still needed to make those. I have not seen this guy go to ground.
Guys are crowning players about.
No, you don't get it. You're dealing with Aubameyang pace, and you didn't go to ground. Do you know what I just said? Aubameyang's one of the fastest footballers.
That makes you better.
Okay, you don't get it. You don't get it. No, you're just not getting it.
You could cope with it.
No, but wait. With the Arsenal game, the system, Aubameyang didn't get the ball.
Let me break it down. He's got the physical attributes like he's physically, he athletically, he's got in football wise, he's like a LeBron James.
Yeah.
He's got physical attributes. He sprints. He finishes sprinting and he's leaving you like Usain Bolt. And he's a defender. He's a centre back. 6 foot what? 4.
He can out-jump you,
He can out-jump you. He can out-muscle you. He's stronger than you. He's got a good touch. He can spread the ball. He can bring it out of play. He can read he reads the challenge
He reads it very well. That's
He
why
reads
his
the game
recovery, I
well.
haven't even seen his recovery like that. He
It's
reads the game so
it's
well.
like, I'm not putting myself in that position.
It's just that Rio comment that I had to...
But I'm saying, I'm looking at it. I'm not talking about the longevity and all that he has accomplished. Of course
Okay,
not.
some
I'm talking
attributes.
about attributes. If you take him just a moment, a player in his moment, and just take him as a physical and what he is on the eye test.
On the ball as well.
On the ball, you would turn around and say, wow, this kid, because there's been players that have had his attributes. Maybe they just never achieved nothing with it. But I don't...
For him to come into this Liverpool team that was leaking goals, yeah,
and shore it up.
and just show it out, and Alisson plays a part in it.
I
But
don't think I've seen a defender come into a club and make such an impact.
so effortlessly.
Such an impact. No, coach. What I mean, I'm not saying we're not giving him the crown yet. Hell no. Rio is one of the greatest England's ever seen.
Even a couple of Arsenal centre backs.
Yeah, no,
Listen, you can't crown him in front of
like,
him.
We're not crowning.
we're
I'm
not
just
crowning him.
talking about-
But what I'm saying, based on pure ability and pure
That's what we're
impact,
talking
what
about.
he's done. Do you know where he's taking
Ability.
Liverpool from? They're unbeaten. for God's
7
sake.
goals,
But what
8
I'm
goals
saying-
now conceded.
what I
8
would
goals
say-
conceded.
What I would say,
It's not all him, though.
what I would say to counter,
Gomez.
what I would say
Big
to
shout out
counter
to
that
Gomez.
too. If you buy Van Dijk and you don't buy Alisson, what happens?
Yeah, you still have Millionaire or Karius and goal. Yeah, I get you.
So it's all.
Yeah, Alisson's made some.
I-
Alisson's saved
listen,
points as well for them.
I get the thing that Van Dijk, and he's the best. He's the best defender in the Premier League.
Who's the best? Okay, so you agree?
I'm not gonna say the world because I don't watch enough of other leagues.
No,
and
fair
whatever.
enough,
So
fair
I'm not
enough.
gonna say the world.
Fair
But in the
enough.
Premier League, hands down,
yeah.
Virgil van Dijk is the best Premier League defender, no problem. And unless we watched other leagues really look at them, we can't really say that. But in the Premier League, no doubt, there's no argument about it. There's no argument whatsoever.
Him and Gomez are the best
Yes.
partnership.
And I said
Yeah,
that
but
about
even
Gomez.
that Gomez went out. Look, he's
But
still.
Kev did say about Gomez being injury prone. He did say that early in the podcast.
But I'm saying even that Gomez has come out, they still look alright. Whoever's come beside Lovren's looking alright beside Van Dijk.
But I think the goalkeeper helps them a
100%.
lot.
That injury-prone comment will never change from me. I'm a United fan. I hate injury-prone players. 1 minute you're in, 1 minute you're in.
It's too inconsistent.
John-
man.
Top of that
Yeah.
Arsenal, we got a bag of them as well.
Yeah,
We just be
yeah,
stacking injury-prone players, be giving them contracts or winning the league. Bro, that club's a banter, bro.
That's one thing. It's one of my first criterias about a player. I check injury records. I always check their injury records. When we were signing Lukaku, the most impressive thing, I was like, wow, this guy don't miss games, you know.
Based on
Pogba,
the
he don't miss games. you
injury
know?
alone, yeah. I'm sorry to take this back to Arsenal, but any top manager, Pep, Fergie, any top manager, yeah, a lot of these Arsenal players won't have an Arsenal shirt by now, just based on their injury.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say? Like, bruv, by now, Wilshere will be playing in League One by now.
Yeah, we got rid of Hargreaves for that
we've
because
got rid of
Hargreaves
him
was
time
too.
ago.
No. To even support that point, because Fergie, you know, some of these managers, Fergie was of opinion. My 2 central defenders
Can't be
they
rotated.
need to play the most games of everybody.
But that's my
in the
issue with
whole team.
Jose. Anyway.
What were you saying about in terms of Liverpool's title credentials?
So yeah, I'm talking about. Let's talk about the preview now. Man City, Liverpool at Etihad.
Okay,
What's the point deficit right now?
It's 7 right now.
7.
What
Is it
I'm
7?
saying- yeah, it's 7. What I'm saying right now,
They
in ter-
lost 2 back-to-back.
yeah, what I'm saying right now with that game.
Wait, hold
yeah,
on. Are you sure it's not 6?
Please tell me it's not 7,
no,
bro.
it's 7 because there were 10 before they
because-
played today.
Because they were saying they could be Arsenal
it
could
was
have
10, no.
Liverpool could be 9 points clear.
Yeah, they were 9 points clear of Spurs yesterday, but they were 10 points clear of City.
Oh, 'cause
then
Spurs
City played
lost.
today. Yeah,
Oh,
So City
played
had to
today.
win against
So,
Southampton.
what I'm saying, going back to my point, that match there, as a United fan, I will be supporting Man City. Is what I'm trying to say. A lot of people don't understand, but if you understand the history
No,
of what's
if you
going
understand,
on, yeah,
you can't
I will
have
be
Liverpool
supporting Man
winning the
City
league,
there.
man.
It's just-
Elaborate for them, man.
Because Liverpool, to my knowledge, they have 18 titles. Man United have 20. That is our biggest rivals. It ain't Man City. Man City winning leagues, I think whatever 5th, 6th title, they don't match our history. Man City don't come close to our history.
It still
Liverpool,
hurts.
it still hurts. But if you ask any United fan, who would you rather win the league, City or Liverpool? If you had a choice, they're picking City all day long. They're picking City
versa.
all day long.
I think it's even deeper than that. It's like if Liverpool win this, now they're gonna be. I feel they'll be serial winners.
To me,
I think they'll be winning best stuff.
to me, it was like 60-40 in their favour. If they beat City away from home,
How do you see that going that game?
Liverpool
Are we gonna see a monster City side?
Liverpool are playing house money, and the reason why they're playing house money, every single player that does an interview, don't talk to me about the league.
No, I'm saying, how do you see that game going at Etihad?
I see.
City versus
Listen,
Liverpool.
I see it as number one. The good thing about City right now, they got Fernandinho back. They needed him back desperately. If they go into that game without Fernandinho, it's a big problem. Now Fernandinho is there. We're going to see what City's really like. This is the most amount of pressure that City's been on
know
since
what,
Pep's
yeah?
got there. This is do or die for me. This game here for them. Now, obviously, people are going to drop points along the way. It's still a long time till April, May. But I'm saying this game, the fact that it's at home, it's at City's home ground, they have to win. But guess what? When you have that mentality of you have to win, you've got Salah, you've got Mane, you've got Firmino back there. It's in the back of your mind. It's scary. It is scary because Liverpool's scared. That's what I said in the documentary. The two teams he mentioned that he was scared of, not scared of, but he was worried about was Crystal Palace and Liverpool. Them two teams is who they're worried about. Everybody else they can take care of. Them two teams give them the most problems.
Because even last season when they met each other in the Champions League, yeah, you know, City wanted the Champions League so bad, but Liverpool
Just got the
blitzed
history.
them.
They got the
Liverpool
history.
blitzed
They
them.
got the history. Champions League, they got the history. We've won it 5 times.
Do you think Pep has learned from that though?
He's learned from it, but I think it's one of those ones where, once again, Pep plays one style. We're not going to change because we're playing against Liverpool. So he knows that his style against Liverpool's style,
It's a clash.
yo, it's a
What free?
I want him just in case there's any Jose subliminals in there.
No,
I want to make sure he understand that Pep has mastered his style of play. He has mastered the style of play he's doing. They're playing right now. They have mastered their arts.
But they mastered it last season and got blown away by Liverpool. So
What
that's I'm saying.
what free would you play if you're Liverpool in midfield?
terms of what?
In midfield against City at Etihad, because you got Fernandinho
I'm
back.
not
Is
playing
there.
Fabinho. That's number one. That's number one.
Why?
He's not up to pace right now.
You like Fabinho?
He's not up to pace with the
He
Premier
messed us up, you know.
Yeah, listen.
He messed United
He's
up.
good on the ball as well.
Yeah, he's gonna. But for me, from what they have, I wouldn't play that. I would play Wijnaldum.
Yeah, I would.
I would play Milner.
You play Milner?
Yeah, I'd play Milner and I'd play Keita.
You'd play Milner.
Them plays. I'll play them
Because
three.
you know the hunt, the.
I think that's why he didn't
the
play against
engine,
Arsenal.
the work rate.
same.
He
What
didn't
he's
play
going
against
back.
Arsenal.
He's going back against City. Remember, that's his old team. Milner's got something to prove to them as well.
That's the three that I would
Who's
play.
gonna
I'd
go
play
in?
Keita. I'd play Milner and Wijnaldum. Them three.
I'm such
I'd
a
play.
big fan of Milner. I love
I
that.
like
He's
Keita.
my favourite English player. James
Swear
Milner.
down.
Yeah, man.
I think because City are gonna have the ball, yeah.
Midfielder anyway, sorry. Midfielder.
Because Man City are gonna have the ball for the most part of the game, you're gonna need players that are gonna quickly transition to attack. So when you're not gonna have the ball, but when you have it, boom, we got a break. And I think with Wijnaldum, he's key for that. I think he'll play. Yeah.
He'll have to play.
Milner, I'm not sure, but yeah, if you look at
the
our
fact that he didn't play against Arsenal, unless
Sorry,
he's
hold on,
injured.
what do you think Liverpool's
play.
side's going to be? Because I think that's the key. I think City have got can play variations and still be competitive. But what do you think Liverpool's side is going to
I think Klopp's gonna know he's not gonna have the ball,
Yeah.
so he's gonna quickly when he gets the ball,
So he's
quickly
going to play the
transition.
front
And
three.
guess what?
He's going to
Guess
play the
what?
front three.
Yeah, but then he's gonna play with
And
Wijnaldum.
he doesn't have to have the ball. That's what Klopp knows. He's playing with house money. Even if you guys win, we're still 4 points ahead of you. And guess what? None of our coaches or players are talking about the title anyway. Even though the rest of you lot are, we're not. So we're gonna take it game by game. And yeah. So what? So what I'm saying is that this is the lineup I think they're gonna go with: Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Virgil, Lovren, Robinson. Three in the middle: Milner, Wijnaldum, Keita. And then the three up front speak for themselves.
can't go wrong.
Guess what, City? If you want to attack us and play that football you want to play, no problem. We'll just have Salah on the left. We'll have Salah on the right. we'll have Mane on the left. And don't get it twisted. Pep will be thinking at the back of his mind.
No, but now he's got Fernandinho back because when they have the ball around that around the edge of the
last
box,
season.
Fernandinho's at the back. He's like,
They always cause them problems. Liverpool always cause them problems.
if Liverpool win this, so wait, if Liverpool win,
if City win, if City
Then
turn
4
up,
points, yeah.
if City turn up, not just turn up, turn up. Like Liverpool's the slap in all of those players will come. This is what I'm talking about.
But
if Liverpool beat them 3-1, I still have confidence in City to somehow get themselves
that's
together.
my next
and
question
keep
though.
The train running
What,
again.
in the game or after?
After the game.
But that's my question. So
But
if Liverpool win, is
I
that
feel like
over?
If Liverpool,
It's
if
over.
if
You know why?
if
You know why it's
Liverpool
over?
lose,
'Cause to me-
it's going to be curtains.
When I
for
look
Liverpool.
at what Liverpool have been doing this season, they're burying the teams that are not the big team.
That's
And
my
they
question.
ain't-
If
they
they
ain't-
lose, if
they ain't
Liverpool
got
win
a
this,
so-called-
how are they gonna drop points against all the other teams?
They don't have a so-called big game until you Man United in February.
If Liverpool win, yeah, it's a big
That's 10 points.
big psychological
That's 10
change.
points.
Yeah.
Big
That's 10
psychological,
points from
big
City.
psychological
That's a
change.
big
Like,
thing.
That's a big thing.
I'm
That's
trying
a
to
big
show
thing.
you is if City beat them, like if they give them more than like a 2-3 goal margin, that is a way to unravel, to put Liverpool off of their whole. They can crumble off of it.
I'll tell you right now, Man City will take a 93rd minute own goal and a 1-0 win when they play against Liverpool on Thursday. Trust me. Because right now, after you finish Christmas, it's all about results. It's not about your performances. If you're going for the title, it's about results. You got to win ugly. It's not about winning just fancy style of play or what. You got to win ugly. And I think this game is going to be the biggest game since Pep Guardiola has been at Man City.
100%.
This will be the biggest game he's had.
Yeah. So yeah, boy, that's we'll see, innit? We'll see. But Man City obviously got the job done today because against Southampton. Chelsea played as well. 1-0. Was it 1-0 in the end?
1-0, yeah.
1-0. I thought they'll drop points today, you know. Because I know you don't care about the top 4 thing for Man United, but I'm looking at it closely.
Okay.
If we can close the gap,
Okay.
you know, we're 3 points behind Arsenal now. 5, is it 8 points still against Chelsea?
Yeah, 8 points.
Yes, but I was hoping they'll close the gap. Yeah, Hudson-Odoi, man. Let's talk about Hudson-Odoi. So we got insider info. Yeah, we got insider info, man. But yeah, because I was told Hudson-Odoi. First of all, I rate the guy highly. Yeah, I think he's a top player now, and it's funny because 2 podcasts ago I was saying he should do what Sancho did and go Bundesliga, and he would lock it off. So I thought he was getting Bayern. I thought he was Bayern Munich. It seems like Dortmund.
Hold on, 1 second. Do you think Hudson-Odoi is as good as Sancho?
See, you don't.
Bro,
you ain't seen
I
that
rate
before.
this kid, fam. I watched a youth cup game, yeah. Wait, I watched a youth cup game. I know it's a youth cup. It was I think second leg at the Emirates, Chelsea versus Arsenal. The guy it was so clear that this guy shouldn't be playing this game. It wasn't even fair. I said, who is this kid? I was in Nigeria at the time as well. And I was calling my people, but I'll call my Chelsea mates, like, who is this guy?
I'm not
The
saying
guy
that-
is solid.
With Hudson-Odoi, I'm not saying it because he's just family, yeah. But what I'm saying is that Hudson-Odoi, before Sancho went to Dortmund, he was the guy in that age group. It wasn't Foden, it wasn't Sancho, it was him. He was the guy. I'm talking about the English.
Chelsea were dominating.
No, but what I'm saying is that-
Sancho was doing the
No,
most
but what
for
I'm
the
saying,
youth
but
team.
what I'm
So
saying
City wouldn't have let him go
what
if he
I'm
was
saying-
doing
what I'm
that,
saying is
man.
that he didn't have the like a Loftus Cheek sort of buzz at Chelsea where he might get a game here. It was he has to play for the first team. At 17, he's good enough to go in that first team. You got Pedro, Willian, he's measuring up to those guys. So what I'm saying is that's why he didn't sign that long-term deal the first time, because he knew that the politics at Chelsea. It's not all about who's the best. Do you get what I'm saying? And now you're looking at Sancho. You're looking at Sancho and you're thinking, Sancho's the one that's getting talked about. England squad, the next star could be the English name on that. But you're thinking to yourself, but I was better than this boy at 17. Like our age group, he's known as the top guy.
Fucking hell.
Hudson-Odoi is known as the top guy.
Did you watch the preseasons this season?
What?
Arsenal Chelsea.
Yeah.
Did you see what Hudson did to Bellerin?
Can I just ask for Chelsea side, for Chelsea, this is really bad because since John Terry, no one's come through. They've had
I thought Aki was-
they've had the ability, they've had the players to bring through.
100%. They won
And
the Youth
they've-
Cup every time.
And they've not.
This is why I always say, I do not respect Chelsea Football Club as a football club. They're not a football club. They're
business.
not. I don't respect them. I don't.
Why do you respect them, Coach?
I respect them because they tell all their youth players, when you go into Chelsea, your aim is not to make Chelsea's first team. That's what you think your aim is. Your aim is to become a professional footballer.
I rate that. I didn't tell them that.
They tell you, no. They tell, listen, no.
What do you
no,
mean?
It's not every football club.
Yes,
no,
it
because
is. What do you mean? Is it realistic?
United, they say you're gonna come through.
No, they don't.
The reason why I'll tell you right now is where I'm not backing from this. I've heard it from academy guys myself. No. I'm telling you from academy guys that I have spoken to from different clubs because I work in that field. What I'm saying is that when you go to Chelsea, they never ever tell you and give you that false lie that you are going to play for the first team. Why? It's because number one, the facts are, like Kev said, since John Terry, nobody has gone to that first team. So guess what? Their job, once again, Chelsea, they take all the best young players. Do you know why? Do you know why they take the best young players? Right. Number one is to take them away from the Arsenals, Tottenhams, whatever. That's number one. Number two, if you are a special player, they give you props like they do your schooling. They do this.
What's
when
that?
You're secondary school.
Listen.
Don't leave the man. No, hold on. Let me talk.
I'm talking from fact. Hudson-Odoi has been there from 8 years old. Listen. I'm talking about experience here. He's been there from 8 years old. I'll use him as an example.
Okay, cool.
They've taken him through certain schooling system, this, that, and the other, etc. So when he gets to a certain point where, right, he's really made it 16, 17, he's becoming that sort of player. They are not looking at him being in the first team. Why? Because of the players that they bring in as Hazard, the Pedros, the Williams. That's the Chelsea model. The Chelsea model is once you get through the youth system and you're that good, they're looking to sell you because it's a business.
Hold on. Pause. Stop. Wait.
It's a way of generating income. Wait. They use the loan system to generate. Look at all the players that they've sold done.
This is not the loan system. It's not loan. But they're buying him permanently.
But they're young players that don't make it. They loan them out.
I'm going to say
other clubs to develop them to come back so they can sell them off for profit.
Hold on. No. Because you've gone. Let me go, man. Because you've made your point. We get it. But don't move either. Let me explain fully. Because coach is going on something right now. We need to be really clear. So Jadon Sancho and Hudson-Odoi, and Angel Gomez, they are players who are English, and everything that's wrong with the Prem, it can be angled at, listen, where are you finding a place for these sides? So you got the Chelseas who will make sure they grab them so no one else gets them, only to do what? To just let them go to just for envy and spite, make sure they're not in the Premiership, send them out of the country. Okay, for their development, for a player like Sancho, who's strong. Obviously, they've got mentally strong-willed. He's gonna turn it he's been able to go and light it up over there. Hudson-Odoi, hopefully, he's still got that same mental fortitude. He will go there and light it up as well. But really, Chelsea, nah. John Terry was not that good in his position when they was bringing him through. There needs to be an ethos at a club to say, when we have a genuine top talent, they have to have a chance into our first team.
Coach wasn't saying the facts. He's saying how it is. He's not saying how it should be.
And he began it with he respects them. And I do not understand how you respect that.
The reason why I respect someone is like someone when they meet me and say, yo, bruv, you don't need to find out how I am. This is how I am. So if you hear me, I'm telling you what it is from an early age. I ain't telling you when you bust it on the scene, 16, 17. I'm telling you from 9, 10 years old that your job at 17 years old is to become a professional footballer, so you have a career in football. It's not to make it into the Chelsea first team. Once you've told a parent that at 10 years old, it's now up to the parent to make that decision what they want to do.
Coach is just being political, innit? But every football coach, that's the end game, innit? Like, it's not realistic. Every player,
listen. This is why I said he respects it.
I respect
this is why I said he respects it, because Chelsea told you that.
But what I'm trying to say is this here: every coach or scouts or youth coach, they're an employee of the club, innit? It's in their job description to bring players through. But really and truly, their job is to develop
professional footballers.
But they're not telling them that. They said you can make the first team.
Hold on. Samuel, let me tell you why. A piece of what he's saying in terms of how he respects it is all bullshit. Is because there are United are the most that bring through the most talents. And they end up going to have another career somewhere in the rest of the country. However, there is always they always tell you when you know if you cut our grade, we will give you the chance. So when it gets to that point, hence why Fergie was so pissed when Pogba left, because he was like, no, we're not Chelsea here. You will get a chance. Please bear with me. If we're that kind of club, then we can't argue. If we're a Chelsea, then we can't argue. But then I said it's disgusting what Chelsea are doing, where they've got these kind of players, and they're not letting them just for at least if you're not doing it for yourself, do it because you're English. You're KKK. You're English.
They've even got a club that they dedicate to use to ship them out. A farm. They've got a farm that will develop them, not their own youth, and a farm that will develop them. And then when they come, they'll sell them on for profit.
This is my issue.
Get out of here, man.
I'm not talking about whether you think this is right, whether you think this is wrong. I'm talking about the people that I've had discussion with personally that are at these different academies. Spurs, for example, are different.
You respect it.
Let him talk.
Spurs, for example, are a different academy. They say they are a development academy. That's why Harry Winks can make through. That's why Walker Peters can make through. Because they have a different philosophy as a club. Chelsea have a different philosophy as a club, and they let you know quite early when you're at under 10 level. They don't let you know when you've now bust at under 16, under 17, thinking you're good enough to make it in the first team, that they should develop you. The reason why they do that is because at Chelsea, you know the turnover in managers. We cannot promise you that we're going to bring the youth through, because the manager might not want youth. This manager might not want this. This manager might
You might not respect it, but
I'm saying they've told you how it is. Them in the way they tell you early. Now, listen, before you sign for that club at a youth age, you as a parent now must make the decision for your child. Because you haven't duped me when I'm 16 and I'm ready to sign a professional contract. 100%. It's the parents that want to do. So what I'm saying is that in Hudson-Odoi's position, me personally, if you ask me personally, he should be nurtured into the Chelsea first team. But the way Chelsea run their structure in their club and the way they turn over managers so quick, I don't even think that's going to be good for him. So I think him going to somewhere like Bayern Munich or Dortmund will be better for him, because especially Dortmund, because they let youth players play. They can't handle, even Kev said it earlier, financially they can't. They're not on par with Bayern Munich.
Explain the policies.
So why do you respect them? You do all of this.
You can't. You see,
why do you respect it?
if a man respects something, you can't.
Can
I don't understand what.
Can I ask a question? Can I have a question?
This is what should happen.
Can I have a
but you
question?
still
Do you respect this? Yeah, bringing Bakayoko to come and block Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Do you respect that?
Are you asking my personal opinion?
Do you respect that?
No, but you're asking my personal.
Okay, wait. Let me see what.
opinion.
Let me summarize what coach is saying. Coach is saying.
No.
Wait. And if I'm wrong, then someone can cut me off. What he's saying is,
All the memes will happen.
Okay, wait. I don't care. What he's saying. What I got from what he's saying is.
respect that, by the way?
What I got from what coach is saying is, all the teams develop young players. Some of them go to the first team. Chelsea, because of the way the team is run, they can't promise players that. But instead of lying to them, they tell you what it is. What? Why can't? How can you not respect it?
Okay.
That's what he's saying. He respects. What do you got that you don't respect of that? He's not saying that it should be like that. He's saying, as a parent, he's told you the cards on the table is
You sign or you don't sign.
You don't sign or you don't sign. What do you respect about that?
The fact that Bayern Munich are ready to take this kid.
How can you respect that? Come on, bro, man.
And you're Chelsea.
You're talking something else. You're talking
Samuel,
about
you know what I'm
something
talking
else.
about.
And they're a better team than you.
I get what he's saying, but
Of course you
But go
will.
on, you got to.
Of course you will.
I don't mind, bro. No, you're being silly. You're using emotion. That's what you're doing. You're using emotion. You are.
Listen. Can I explain it one more time,
bro?
One
You're
more
not getting
time.
it.
And once
He might
again,
not agree with the model.
once
Do you agree with
again,
the model like that?
I don't agree with
Thank
the model.
you.
He said, I respect
The
it.
model.
He respect. What do you respect about it? Wait, what do you respect about it, coach? Quickly.
I respect that.
They tell you
If
what
I-
it is.
Listen,
Simple.
If I have a 10-year-old boy here, my son, who's great at football, and they tell me
And there's
if
two
he
clubs.
gets if he gets to 16, our main thing is to make
he's
him
gonna
a
go to Chelsea.
professional footballer and give him a career in football. Yes, if he continues on the path he's continuous.
It's a lie.
How's it a lie when I'm talking to guys at the club? I'm talking. Have you spoke to anyone at Chelsea?
At United,
Have you spoke to anyone at
at
Chelsea
Manchester
before?
United.
Have you spoke to anyone at Chelsea before?
Watch this quickly. At Manchester United, when you if you don't make the grade at United, do you still have a
Who have you
career?
spoke to at United?
No, I don't
Who
need
have
to
you
speak
spoke
to
to
a
at United?
single
I'm
soul.
speaking to people.
No,
You're
I don't
not
need.
speaking to no
No. Listen. Let's take facts. You can say he's spoken to anyone, and I've not spoken to no one. But the facts are all there of the people who are making their careers out of it afterwards. Yeah.
And people that didn't.
And
Not
people that
everyone
didn't. Yo, watch this, because there's players that have played for their academy teams, youth cup winners, and I'm like, where are they now?
Yeah.
And there's United players that they cut the grade, that they're still playing in Premiership sides. You're like, wow, is that where Pearson ended
Not
up?
everyone.
There's loads of
Not
them. They're still
everyone.
in the league.
There's still United players that don't play no more. You know.
They don't play what no
There's
more.
still United players that are playing League One.
Don't get
Like,
academy
That's
football, bro.
that's still playing.
Okay.
That's still a
I'm
career
in it,
though.
You're talking
That's
about
still
it.
a career.
I'm in it, and you're talking about
No,
it.
all I'm saying
There's a big
is career.
difference.
All I'm saying is this, coach. Yeah. All I'm saying is this. Yeah. Just because you respect how they come about it doesn't make it right. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're both saying the same thing.
How can you say I respect it?
What he's
I said I respect.
That's
Listen,
what I'm saying I don't understand is what he's saying he respects is the minimum requirement for any decent Premiership
think as well.
side. How the
Every
fuck can
club-
you say you respect that?
Oh wait, so you're saying that every club,
Minimum requirement.
Listen.
you're saying every club tells their players, well, listen, we can't promise you're gonna play in the first
A
team.
good coach, a good youth coach will tell a young, if they care about them, will tell them, look, son, you're good, you're talented. Don't pin your hopes, think you're gonna make the first team. Every coach does
Come on,
that.
let me break this down for these guys, yeah? Listen. Let me break this down for these guys, yeah? I'm not ever gonna name this Premiership club. I had a meeting with the guy who's head of recruitment from under 10s to under 17. You know what he told me? He said our under 14s and our under 15s, there are 2 players that are probably gonna make it. 2 that we're looking at. 2. Those both squads have a squad of 25 each. They already know who is not going to make it in their thing. And what I'm trying to...
So you think they told everyone
what
that
I'm-
50 that
what
only
I'm
2 are
trying
gonna
to
make
say,
it?
When these guys are talking about it should be every good coach should tell you the minimum thing is to make... They already know who's not going to make it. But guess what? Apart from... When you get past under 13 level, yeah, you have to play 11-a-side football. That means if there's 2 players in your 25-man squad who you know is definitely going to make it, who do they have to play with? They have to play with somebody. They have to play with somebody. But they know by 16, we are cutting about 19 of these players. And they're going to get a rude awakening. And most clubs, that's what they do. The parents get to 16, 15, and they get cut.
The reason I can't argue with someone that's been in the
Listen. The parents get the kids get cut, and the parents don't understand why. The kids don't understand why. This is Premiership clubs that I've had conversations
Wait,
with.
just
Chelsea-
before he carries on. Have you seen that? There was a show on BT Sport. I don't know if you watched that quite like I think it was last year about young players coming through the system, and it's the same thing he said.
No, it's not.
It's not.
The reason,
I'm gonna find a show.
the reason why is because Chelsea, United, City, we are exceptions to the rule. Arsenal, for that matter,
Meaning what?
Tottenham
Exceptions to
are
what
exceptions to the rule.
Meaning what?
rule?
Any player that makes it to that grade of academy, it is more than likely when you come out of that academy, you will get a professional contract somewhere.
Not somewhere. We're talking about at that team.
No, but the
That's what
team,
I'm talking
but the team Chelsea, which I want to go back because what coaches a very good thing at doing is spinning it and then taking your focus. The focus is Chelsea here. Now Chelsea, where I cannot respect it is Chelsea. What he said he respects to say about what they make sure is clear to them that you're gonna go. It is the minimum requirement because when they were signing those players and making sure West Ham's and the Arsenals and the Uniteds and anyone else weren't getting them, those parents' kids, that kid's parents knew their child was heavily wanted. So by the time Chelsea came and put money in their parents' pockets, you know that wow, my kid has got a really good chance of making it.
Of making it where?
So of
From 10
making
years
it,
old.
making
From
it,
10 years old.
bruh.
No,
From 10 years old.
bruh.
Okay.
So all the teams.
I just find
So,
it hard to argue with someone that day
no,
in,
no,
day
no.
out.
Yeah, day in. It's not day in and day out.
Day in, day
No,
out.
no, hold on. I'm not arguing about his knowledge. My argument is with where he's turning around and saying he respects the standpoint of where they're explaining that you will not, because in this case it's not may not, it's now will not. You will not make it in Chelsea's first team.
No. They didn't say will not. That's what I'm saying.
It is will not. Show me one person.
You're not listening. When you come into the Chelsea academy, they tell you based on the numbers. Even when they based on numbers as football,
based on what numbers?
Based on football numbers as a whole, the amount of academy players that actually make it to professional is 0.0 something.
That's what I'm telling you about.
It's
But
crazy.
at Chelsea is zero.
Can I answer your question? Yeah. Are they telling these young players, you probably won't make it into our first team because that's how football is. That's the game.
No.
Or
Okay, go on.
we're Chelsea Football Club. We don't give a fuck about you.
No. That's not what they're saying.
Because
they're
if
saying,
that's the case,
No, listen.
how can you bring Bakayoko to come and block
Answer me this question.
Ruben Chicks'
Answer me this question.
Where's Bakayoko now?
Answer me this question. Answer me this question. Before Man United beat Chelsea in the Youth Cup this year, Chelsea has won the last 7 Youth Cups. They've had the best youth players. Why do youth players year after year after year go to Chelsea knowing there's no one in the first team? Why is that?
No, why? Because for 7 years they've been dominating, but
For 7 years they've been dominating. Cool. He's saying money. That's one aspect of it. But guess what? Not only the money, they give you the schooling as well. Not only the schooling, they let you know the realities of professional football when you get to that level.
United can't tell you that.
I'm sure every club will give you that.
Listen to what I'm saying. But look at the difference between like the Spurs, Man United and Chelsea. There's clear philosophies between each club. In Man United, it is mandatory from the time of the Busby Babes. It's
Because
mandatory.
it's the cornerstone of a football club.
No, it's not cornerstone of a football
It
club.
is.
It's
In
the
my
cornerstone
eyes,
of Man
in my eyes,
United.
no.
As
In my eyes,
football-
it's your responsibility as a
what I'm
football
saying.
club to at least bring through one player
Why
into
do
your
you
first
think it's a
team.
Barcelona,
It's a business.
Real Madrid,
It is.
Man
Or you're not a
United,
football club.
Man City,
Or you're not a football
Arsenal, Bayern Munich,
Okay.
Borussia Dortmund,
You have to
all
bring in one.
Real Madrid.
Inter Milan,
Okay.
Juventus,
Let's talk about these clubs.
everywhere else does
if
it
it's just
apart from
one.
the one pagan
Okay,
club,
okay.
Chelsea.
Listen, Samuel,
Even if it's just
he
one.
just said everyone else does it. Name me the Real Madrid youth player that's come through.
Asensio.
What are you talking
No.
about?
Apart from Asensio, don't forget, Real Madrid didn't start last season. Before Asensio, name me the player.
Asensio,
Name me the player.
Real
Name me the
Madrid
player.
been bringing
Name me the
players
player.
through.
Asensio. Apart from Asensio, who's come through?
Recently or
No. I'm saying in the last 20 years at Real Madrid.
I said Raul.
No.
Let me
Listen,
go
in
and
20 years, 2 players have
Let me go
come
and
through.
check. Let me go and check.
I'm
'cause
asking
you're
you.
just
You
gonna
said Raul and
fact
Asensio.
that you're not
That's
sure
2
about.
players that's come from Real
I'm
Madrid.
sure there's more,
Let me
man.
Google. Let me
No, I'm saying.
Casillas.
Did Morata come through?
Casillas, 3. I'm talking about 20 years. 20 years of football.
Basically,
Three players.
it's not a lot.
What I'm
It's not
saying
what
is that different clubs have their different philosophies. Real Madrid is about the Galactico. If we get a Raul, if we get a Casillas, you see, you say you don't agree. I'm telling you the field that I'm in.
We're not gonna agree with this, man.
But let's go back to Hudson-Odoi anyway.
Yeah,
That was the whole
quickly,
point.
because we're gonna move on.
Yeah,
We've got
so-
one last thing to talk about.
So what I'm saying is that right now with him, he looks like he's going Germany.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say. Bayern have put up the official bid and whatnot, but it looks like Dortmund are also in the running too. Especially
Where do you think he should go?
Especially, I think he should go Dortmund because Pulisic is going to. It looks like he's going Chelsea right now as well. So once again, that's even another factor.
Real Madrid have got too many, you know.
Listen. That's another factor. You've got Hudson-Odoi, who's gone through your whole youth system, but you want to bring Pulisic in. Why do you want to bring Pulisic in? Is it because he's just a good player? That's number one. He's from the USA. USA have a big TV market. These are the things that go into signing players. You think it's all about who's better, whether Hudson-Odoi is better than Pulisic. Pulisic might cost them 50, 60 million, but they know on the back end with US TV, US broadcast, and that being their best player in the US
Shame
team.
if football's like that,
This
man.
is what I'm saying, but it's a
That's not how it
business.
should be.
But these guys,
Should be like that.
but you're talking about Hudson-Odoi. I don't respect Chelsea because he's supposed to be.
I don't.
Roman Abramovich
I don't like
came.
Chelsea.
Roman Abramovich came to Chelsea, and like I said before, was doing.
Sorry, Chelsea fans.
What I'm saying,
Bro, the Chelsea fans that listen to this podcast must hate us.
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
When Abramovich came to Chelsea and took over from Ken Bates, when he came over, Did he say anything about youth?
No way.
He said nothing about the youth teams. All he said was, I'm going to pump my BMF money and we're going to go win titles. That's it. He's never talked about, I'm coming here to establish the youth and the traditions of Chelsea, and we had John Terry come through, so we're going to have this. Everyone's talking about what should be right. I'm telling you what's facts, not what should be right.
It's a matter
what is
of
what's
opinion.
going on.
It's a matter of opinion.
It's like Arsenal, right? It's like Arsenal right now. They're a club that sometimes they'll bring
a question of what should be right. This is a question. This started off as a question of what we respect. Now, the cornerstone of why because I need it to be well and truly understood why I do not like Chelsea. How can I just get up and say I don't like a team and they're not even historically my country, not our rivals? No, because you're cutting. You're turning around. I'm turning around saying Chelsea. The one thing I cannot stand about them is the fact that you do this whole monopolization of the youth academy. Because what you do, you've invested heavily, and then when you comes to the fact of giving people a chance, you know what? If anyone else was in their position,
we agree, but we don't
respect it.
Okay, I said that. See that part of things that he just said. I don't respect either. I think they should give you for time. I think they should give.
He respects that they tell you. He respects that they tell you.
I don't understand. He said that he respects that they tell you. I'm trying to say, telling you is not something respectable. If someone says,
of course it is.
Hold on. In my opinion,
I don't know where I stand. That's why. If you're racist, let me know you're racist. If you're this, let me know.
You know I'm making.
What you just said there doesn't make sense.
Okay. In my opinion, a level of service that comes without a shadow of a doubt is what you lot are turning around and saying you respect. As Chelsea Football Club, the multi-billionaire company they are, it's without a shadow of a doubt. It just comes with it that they turn around and give this kind of and have this kind of platform between the club and the parents and the player to understand that if you don't make it here, there's still gonna be an opportunity or route for you to still make it in football.
That's one thing I disagree with.
What I'm trying to say is the messed up part of it is the fact that it's a lie and there is no chance of them ever making it now. I feel like maybe after a while you could turn around and say, but who really was of that quality?
Wait, are you saying that? Are you saying that they're telling the kids that there's no chance?
Listen, yeah, because my thing is, if Borussia Dortmund, if Bayern Munich come in for your academy player, and you've had more than several opportunities to make that academy player into your team, then you as a club have failed. And in our
model though.
And in our case, no. Okay, so essentially,
model is
it depends what their model is, bro.
Historically, that's not their model because they came in. Abramovich came in. They had money come into their team. Yeah. They pumped their way into becoming a big side. Yeah. When it became a big side. Yeah. Surely you then go back to. Okay, there needs to be the players that you've invested in and you've grown and brought into position. They brought
the club, not you. I bought the club. I put billions into it, and I want to buy the star players.
It's a different model. You see the model that you hold, the standards that you hold other clubs to. Chelsea are a different club.
That's why we don't respect them.
That's why I said.
But that's why you said
you don't respect it. They should be bringing respect.
All right, guys. No. Hey, wrap it up because we're
gonna wrap it. I'm gonna wrap it
quickly.
I'll make one more point. You know when you said you watched last season when Hudson-Odoi was playing for the under-18s youth club, when they absolutely destroyed Arsenal. Was it in the final?
Yeah.
They absolutely destroyed Arsenal. That same team, Smith Rowe, now is one of Arsenal's brightest prospects. You know why he's one of Arsenal's brightest prospects? Because Arsenal's philosophy is bringing those one or two youth through. Do you think Smith Rowe can get into Arsenal's, Chelsea's youth team that smacked him about? He couldn't get into that youth team. But what I'm trying to say, he's not all that. But you see how he's getting pushed through in the Arsenal academy because in Arsenal. That is the philosophy to bring in the best that you have.
Chelsea don't have that philosophy and they're telling you they don't have it. They're not lying. They're not lying that, we have that philosophy as well, like Arsenal and we don't have it here.
Listen, Sam,
that's what they're telling you. But parents are still coming there.
If Hudson-Odoi cannot make it, if Hudson-Odoi cannot make it into Chelsea's first team, that is letting you know all you need to know. That's their best prospect.
Listen.
I'm shocked at how you're able to be manipulated into believing things and agreeing with things that I know deep down you don't agree with.
Let me say where I stand. Let me say where I stand. No, wait. Let me say where I stand. No, because what you just said there is quite. I have to answer it.
I have to finish
what you're saying about me.
Accusing. Because what I believe is occurring here is...
No. I've got to address what you're saying now.
You will address it in its entirety. So what I'm trying to say is, we've had this debate here about Chelsea Football Club and the way they we've had this discussion about Chelsea Football Club and the way their philosophy is. He's turned around and said he respects Chelsea Football Club in the approach they go about telling the parent and the footballer, the young footballer, of where they stand in as a club. And I'm trying to say there's nothing respectable about that. And you're trying to turn around and say, but you'd rather know where you stand and be like,
because you go to another club. Chelsea's not the only club in the world.
Okay. Now the reality is,
I had someone because this is first hand. Wait, this is first hand before he carries on. This is first hand.
Let me finish the sentence.
My partners. Listen, I'm saying it.
Who are struggling financially, and Chelsea have the ability to change their lives.
Okay, now, to stop what he said, my partner upstairs, her kids, West Ham trials. They were gonna go, not West Ham, sorry. They're gonna go to Chelsea trials. They chose to go to West Ham. So this whole thing that he's talking about, and they're not rich. Like my girlfriend's family is not rich. Like when we're gonna turn down Chelsea, all this money. They made the decision that, okay, we know Chelsea have told us we're not gonna go up the ranks here. We're gonna go to West Ham. It's simple. You put the cards on the table, you told them what it is, and now you make a decision. Do you want to stay here or do you want to go to another club? We're not gonna tell you, you're gonna have a chance at Chelsea. You're gonna win new cups and come to the Premier League and the first team. We're telling you, you're not gonna do it. So you have the option. What did they do? They're at West Ham right now. He's playing centre mid right now at West Ham, regular. He just came back from Belgium. Okay. 9 years old.
No, what I'm saying, quickly.
That's to stop what you said, though. But that's to stop what you said, though. I'm saying. Does that answer your question?
But in Chelsea, you're gonna have the last point. You're gonna have the last point.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, he's gonna have the last point. What I'm saying is that this is Chelsea's philosophy. We're gonna get the best players because they see it as a business. We're gonna get the best players. When who's said about the loan system? They had about 40 players right now that FIFA are trying to limit. Now they have about 40 players on loan. Each player that goes on loan, they get about 1 mil each for that player. That's 40 million coming in. Now those players that are going on loan could be in Arsenal's first team or Tottenham or whatever it is. But what they've done, they have let these players know what it is. It's
I don't
now
like
down
that.
to those players.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Whether you want to sign for us
I don't like that.
or not.
Who likes that? I don't like it. But what you're making is like I'm following them, like,
He respects.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's him.
My
That's
point
what
is
I'm saying.
this.
Yeah, I want it to be clear, though.
My point is this. This is how I see things.
Okay,
all these football clubs. They're multi-corporate companies. They're big companies, innit? But at the very strip all the money, all the status of a football, at the very basis of a football club, you're a community service as well. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you.
Do you know what I'm
That's what I'm saying. I
Do you know
agree.
what I'm trying to say? You can't tell me to respect a club that doesn't have one.
And I don't think it's he respects the club. I don't even think
he. I don't care about all the money, your model, this Abramovich, Russian oligarch. I don't care about none of that.
You're not putting a penny
You can't
into
tell
Chelsea.
me. You can't tell me that
You're not putting a penny into Chelsea.
produce one player into your first team.
You're talking, but you're not putting a penny into Chelsea. You're putting none of your hard-earned money into Chelsea.
If I was a fan, I would.
No, but what I'm saying.
If I was a fan, I would.
What I'm saying is that. What I'm saying is that.
What are you talking about?
I'm Abramovich. I'm putting in billions. And don't forget.
What do you mean?
When Ken Bates.
If I was supporting the club before Abramovich took over the club, I pay my tickets. I was supporting the club
before Abramovich came.
Let's
ask them this question. Let me ask you this question. Before Abramovich came in to buy out Ken Bates, do you know Chelsea was going into administration?
I remember this.
Exactly. You remember this though, innit? You remember this. So Abramovich is the only one that's put Chelsea on this map that everyone's talking about. This multi-billion corporate. He's the one that's pumped his own money. If I'm pumping my own money in, why do I have to look at what people are telling me about the youth system? I'm pumping my money, my hard-earned money, not your money, not your money, my money.
Before we leave, we'll talk about Tottenham, yeah. So they dropped points because everyone was in the lead up to this most recent loss, yeah. Everyone was saying coach is doing the choke signal, but everyone was saying that, especially Tim Sherwood, yeah, Tottenham, that they're title contenders. No, but they were saying if you look at the players, like if they saw their players, Tim Sherwood, they were saying if they saw their players, they can sell them for like literally $1 billion in terms of the total, yeah. Now it seems like they fumbled against Wolves at home. What does that say about the mentality of the players, coach? Because we spoke about this as well.
In terms of who?
Tottenham.
Me personally, you're a big fan of Pochettino.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah? He's a big fan of Pochettino.
This is what I'm asking.
So what I'm saying is that a lot of people, they big up Pochettino when he gets to the point of you're challenging. Then when they slip up and choke, it's not Pochettino, it's the players.
Yeah, I think the players.
What I'm saying, you can't give him the credit to getting up to that point and then going beyond that point.
You can give both though. You can give both.
I'm saying for me, in my history that I've seen Pochettino, that's why Pochettino is not my certified manager into Man United. What I've seen from Pochettino, when the pressure is on, his teams choke.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. The players might be up.
Southampton choked. So
I'm not
what you've
talking
seen
about Southampton.
So what you've seen from so he's had Southampton. He took Southampton, who had no right, and brought them into a European side. He's taking Tottenham, who have no right to be coming to challenge for titles, and they're coming to
Tottenham only.
What did I just say? I said he's taking Tottenham, who have had no chance. Yeah, because you're just cutting without sense. I just said. If you rewind it, I just said they started with Southampton had no right, and he's taken them. He took them to Europe, and Chelsea and Tottenham had no right.
Choking, yeah.
I just said.
Southampton had no pressure.
So I just said Tottenham. I started with
Southampton.
Because I'm going with chronological. The chronology.
No, we're not talking about that though.
But if you don't do it, then why you? Then
We're
you
talking
just
about the
popped out of
choking
nowhere.
point. We're talking about how when it counts. When Southampton never had a time when it counted, they had to do it. So we're talking about how Sherwood, everyone's talking about Southampton.
Samuel, it's pissing me off that when coaches analysing something, you give him 10 minutes to spew garbage, and then when I'm dropping a simple point, I'm dropping a simple point. No, because it's annoying. I sit here, I listen to you talk shit for 10 minutes. Then when I'm trying to say, Spurs, Southampton, Pochettino was at Southampton. He took them from where they were into being a European side.
That's not debatable.
Right. Then he went to Spurs and he had no right.
Before you go to the Spurs bit, the reason I cut you off with the Southampton bit is because you cut off coach, and rebutted what he said. What he's talking about is choking at crucial times. Southampton never had a time when they had to deliver and they didn't, which is why I'm saying, what are you talking about? We're talking about when was Southampton's time when make or break moment? There was no time when Southampton had to win and they didn't win. He's talking about choking. We're talking about a game like that.
Listen,
that's why I cut you off.
Listen, if that is the flipping case, then Pochettino, there is no time because they are not expected to ever win a league. There is not a requirement. It's not a requirement though. Full stop. There is no such thing as choking with Tottenham.
And you agree? You said Tottenham, coach. You did say Tottenham were not.
So then, how the fuck can you say they're coaching? They're choking if it's not a requirement for them to win the league. How can you choke at something that's not a requirement?
So answer that, coach. Coach, answer that, coach. You just say. You just say Southampton. You just say that Levy hasn't ever put pressure on Pochettino to ever win a title.
The reason why Pochettino has never been put under pressure by Levy.
Kev is sweating, by the way.
Have I said that before? Have I said that?
No.
I've said that, yes.
That what?
I've said Levy doesn't put him under
pressure. You said that,
You said
and then what I'm saying is that the reason why I brought it up because at Man United the pressure is there. So to me, he's not my number one choice. Just like that to say Pochettino.
What pressure? Where's the pressure?
I just let him talk. I just let him talk in it. I just let him talk.
Again?
Where's the
I
pressure?
just let you talk.
The pressure. Wait, I'm baffled because you cut him off.
Where's the pressure?
What I'm saying is, every time Spurs in the title race when Leicester won it?
Yeah, they were.
Were Spurs in the title race when who won it that time there when they messed up against West Brom and Chelsea? Who ended up winning it?
When what?
Was it Leicester that time? Leicester.
Spurs were in the title race. Spurs were in the title race.
You got a short memory, bro.
When he finished talking,
No, they were because when you're in the title race, it means we're looking at you to say because Leicester were in the title race. The people who
With who?
were the people who were
With who?
They were in the title race with
Spurs, what are you talking about? With who? Let him land. Cause
Arsenal. It was Arsenal.
It was Arsenal and
It was
Spurs.
Arsenal.
Yeah, it was
no one really
Arsenal and
believed
Spurs.
Spurs were going to do it. It would come true and win it. Though.
the game when Chelsea, the game when Spurs went to Chelsea,
and lost to West Brom.
what was the rankings of that table? Spurs had to win.
By the general consensus, you know
Forget
what?
general consensus.
No. Unless you're up there, unless you're actually up there, there's teams. For example, right now, if it was another side, if it was Leicester in Tottenham's current position. No one would expect them to be, even though they're there and they're thereabouts. Yeah. No one actually expects them to do it because it's not.
People were expecting.
We don't look at them and go, "Yeah, they're title contenders. Cool. Their squad is strong enough."
But wait, people were expecting. That's what. My whole intro to this first was that the whole time everyone's been saying Spurs have got the team where they're actually challenging. They're 2 points behind. Well, they're 2 points behind City at the time.
So never choked. Based on
what I'm saying is this.
No, but do you get what I'm saying, Kev? What I'm saying is
when
the whole media was basically saying Spurs are in the race, whether you like it or not. Now this is a free horse race. They've got the players to challenge.
My point is, coach has been battering the point to say that you're at a certain club which doesn't have fucking expectations
From
of
Levy.
challenging. How can you now try and use a point that you have bashed in your corner to say they have choked?
The reason why I'm using that point to answer his question is because people like Samo are telling me that Pochettino is the guy from Man United. And I'm telling you that someone who has a better team than Man United right now, are Spurs better than Man United as a team?
I think they are.
Okay, someone who has a better team than what we have right now, okay, is getting to semi-finals and losing to Man United when they're in form.
Hold on.
Let him talk.
Because
When you finish talking,
he's turning around and saying, you know how he's saying Spurs have got a better team?
Yeah.
I am 100% disagreeing with that. You know why? That's why I feel like Jose holds all this smoke. You don't go and blow all that money, sign all those players, and then flop with them. Then people then turn around and say he had a better team. No, you've not performed with the players that you had.
Oh, so you thought United got a better team?
I feel like we're on par. We're on par.
No, first 11.
First 11, we should be on par. However, Pochettino has made it seem like they are a better team.
Who's a better team right
Because of who? Because of who?
Yeah, better 11, but that doesn't mean that United don't have a squad or team that can challenge Liverpool.
I'm saying who's a better
11.
team.
No.
Who you say is a better team?
Dash.
Okay, on paper.
No, not on paper. When we're talking about real life here, not on paper.
Yeah, player
names.
for player.
So you see what
names.
you see what Tottenham did
Player
to
for player.
you see what Tottenham did to Everton.
11.
You see what Tottenham did to Everton. That's 6-2.
Yeah.
Have you seen United do that kind of dominating?
But
victory?
what I'm saying is, United are capable of challenging Tottenham. They are. They're capable.
What I'm saying, my
So
whole
that's not an
point,
excuse.
Samo, my whole
You can't-
point.
it's not as
my whole
black
point.
and white.
Listen,
It's
Samo,
not as black and white.
Samo, if
Not
you let
that
me
you
talk.
give me the opportunity to
Okay,
make
you
to make
talk.
it.
You're
No, that you.
emotional, Kev.
Okay, cool.
You're letting me down.
No.
I wasn't
Listen. Not that. No, because the point is, you keep switching your standpoint. It's not that you're turning around and saying they have the better team. Pochettino has developed these players for you to be able to be in the position to say they are the better team.
I agree.
He did not go out and BMF and come and stand there and say
Trippier,
these are
you
better
got-
teams.
you got-
So it frustrates me to the max when a person like you comes along and says Spurs have the better team, because this guy Pochettino made them into to what it seems like a better team. Had he have United a few seasons ago,
I agree. I said this to you.
people
I said
turn
this to
around
you.
and say United is a better team than Spurs. You see where I want the level of thinking about things and statements to just elevate, because we're just talking.
Listen, as much as you want to say, if he was at United, if he had Lukaku, if he had Pogba, if is a big word. We all know that. We don't know until the guy does it. What I do know is what the guy is doing now. That's what I know. That's why you want him at United because of what he's doing now.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is
feel
that
like the potential.
if the first place team has got a certain amount of points and you are Spurs, the second team, and you are 6 points behind the team at the top, are you involved in the title race?
You're in
yes,
there.
sir.
You're in there.
Whether you like it or
in
not,
there.
you are better than.
You're making it like you have to
18 other
be.
teams in
You
the
have to
league.
have come first and then gone down and you're in the race.
So what
For
I'm
me,
saying-
it's 6
so
points
what I'm saying-
behind.
What I'm saying is this.
You're in the race.
What I'm saying is this. It's two separate things. At the beginning of the season, when everyone's on 0 points,
There's
Levy
no
does
pressure.
not put pressure on Pochettino to say you have to win the league. But when you're in actually playing the games and you're 6 points behind Liverpool,
you're playing Wolves
you
at
are in the
home,
front.
you have to win that.
That's my first point. And you're playing Wolves at home. That's my first point. Second point, when he played Man
let me explain.
when he played Man United in the semi-final of the FA Cup, who was on form? Who was on form? Spurs or Man United?
Spurs were the full
So
team.
what I'm saying to you is, when the pressure is on from what I've seen from Pochettino and the Leicester title race as well, when they were the closest, Arsenal ended up 2nd, but they were the ones fighting for thing, and they lost to West Brom, and I think they flopped at Chelsea as well.
I remember how it went.
I remember how they were the ones fighting Leicester. It wasn't Arsenal. Arsenal came late.
Because that was my
second.
criticism of Harry Kane at times. It was like, he was in the race.
So
I
what
remember
I'm saying
that.
is that's 3 pressure situations where, for me, I wouldn't just put him as number 1 just like that. He might end up
I'll
being
put him
our
as number
manager.
1, 'cause free don't
listen,
spur everything for me.
listen. That's your opinion, which is fine.
yeah.
Kev might have his opinion on who wants Man United manager to be. This is just my opinion. My opinion is that when you come to Man United, the pressure to me is not top 4, anything like that. I need you to be fighting for titles.
Who wants
so
to- who-
what I'm saying is going off your history at Spurs, when you're 6 points behind Liverpool and you're playing Wolves at home,
Yeah,
I
I
expect
agree.
your team to overcome that and put pressure on Liverpool. When you're in the semi-final of the FA Cup against a Man United team where everybody's saying that you are the Tottenham team, you are in form, I expect you to get into the final of the FA Cup. When you're going against Leicester, where there's no excuses about a Leicester team who has Kante and Drinkwater in their middle, and you're going after the title with them, and you have more than enough adequate players to fight for the title, and then you end up choking as well, I'm looking for you to push it to the end. This is what I'm saying. I'm just going
Who
off-
wants to? Last word from Kev. Yeah, we're wrapping up.
Let me, because it's a kind of a question. This
Oh, God.
when I want to ask is, if you get, like, you see Ferguson is well known for taking average players and making them better than what they are. Yeah. When I look at a Pochettino, I look at him in the same light. In my opinion, he takes average players and makes them better than what they are. So when you turn around and say choke, my true and deeper analyzation
Yeah,
of
take
it
them as you can.
is that he's taking something that has no right to be where it is, and he's making them
Alright,
something.
wait. Before you say that, before you say that, I'm coach bandwagon. Didn't I say that to you? Didn't I say the players that he's got maybe have no right to be there?
Listen, but
And
my
when
thing
you
is
have
this.
that
My thing is
philosophy and
this.
thinking,
My thing is this.
it's
My
no
thing
longer
is this.
choking.
My thing is this. My thing is this. If you take Kev, you, me at a situation, I'm even going off the media on TV, the guys that have played the games, the Sherwoods, the Bellamys, the this, the that having these big debate shows on big
Yeah,
TV
they're all
shows.
saying it, especially
They're
media.
all fawning over Pochettino. He's doing this, look at the brand of football, blah, blah, blah. He's got Spurs to the title race, rare. They're good enough to do this. They're a better team than Man United. I'm going off what they're saying.
Maybe what you
So
need to do
I'm
then
saying-
is
so
not
what
go
I'm-
off what they're
so
saying
so
and just
I'm-
look at what it is.
that's
So
what
anyone that's
I'm-
gassing them up,
Listen, if they are 6 points off Liverpool right now, is anyone here expecting Wolves to beat them?
but I watched that match. Look, go and see the sports group, bro. Everyone was shocked.
What I'm saying is that before the match started, did you think there will be 3 points behind Liverpool or
100%, I
6
thought they were
points
going to win that match.
That's my whole
Yeah.
point. So he's got them to that point.
And they choked, is
Yes.
what you're saying.
And I just feel in that position there that they choked. And if you give him the credit for getting within 6 points to Liverpool, you have to also give him the criticism of falling 9 points behind when you have a home match against Wolves. Is what I'm trying. Wolves is not a defensive team. They just come and park the bus or anything. They're not that sort of team.
Wolves play better
where you
than
can, Wolves play football for football. That's what they do. So that plays into Pochettino's hands. Really see. So I'm expecting him, and it's not the first time. This is what I'm saying. I'm looking at his past history with Spurs, and I understand what Kev's
Who's your
saying
favourites to win the league?
right now.
Who were your favourites to win the league?
I didn't say it. I didn't have a
You said
favorite.
it.
I didn't
You said
have
it.
a. I didn't have a favorite. Remember the first
You
podcast?
just tell
I
me
didn't have
now.
a favorite.
Okay.
I did not have a favorite.
Cool. You just tell me now, and try and be as honest as you can. Before the season started, who did you look at and say they look equipped to win to give?
Liverpool and Man City.
So they were your main two that you
Yeah.
thought they're really gonna chuck it
Yes.
out. So then,
when you go into when a season occurs and something else happens than that, and that's usually the general, because what you're saying, everyone believed that City and Liverpool are the main challengers are gonna do it. No one really thought, oh, despite what we knew we played dead football to get, and we got a touch because no one else kind of stepped up. So what I'm trying to say is, when that is the case, when you then fall off, like let's say Arsenal were going on an amazing run, were at the top of the table, and then they fell off at the back end of the season, would you call it choking, or would you call it no? That's we expected this shit, because we don't look at them and go, because at Leicester we were like, if they didn't win the league, no one could turn around and I would be pissed off with the person that told me.
But then you would still say, you would still say, with like 2 games left, that they had the opportunity. You still say they choked.
Yeah, no.
You would still say that's the choke.
They had the opportunity. It was a good. It was a good.
You would still say they choked.
What about?
I only say they choked.
Would you say they choked if Leicester, you didn't count them to win the league? But that season that they won the league, like there was a game when they had to win it and they didn't. Would you say, oh, Ranieri choked, man? Or would you be like, nah, they ran his course? I would still say, right, they choked. You never had them to win it, but they were in the race.
Choked is only for those who are quit and like it was expected of you.
So can I?
Then when you were in position.
Kev, can I ask wait. Can I ask you? The league, the year that Leicester won the league, when it was just them and Tottenham going head to head, do you think that Pochettino choked then? Because he had a better squad than Leicester. Do you think he choked in that season?
No.
When they were going for the league? You don't think so?
Because I did not expect either of those teams to be in the position.
I'm saying, Samo, I'm saying, I think that he choked. If Leicester is top of the league with their squad, and Tottenham are second fighting for that title in their squad, and they choke against West Brom at home.
Why I say you get emotional, Kev, is because you take logic out of it, yeah? If you look at 2 teams, Leicester and Tottenham, neither was supposed to be there. Neither was supposed to be there. Yes. But at the present, they've got there by merit. So they've been performing. They didn't just get put there and then they lost that game. They got put there because they were making the results. They were accumulating the points. But then when it came to it, they didn't. Okay. You say they choked.
Watch this. If I turn
We're
around
wrapping
and
up. We're wrapping up.
If I turn around, if I turn around,
Ask them off air, bro.
if I turn around,
who would be your choice to take over Man United and why?
I really don't know.
Right? Don't know.
No. Listen.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. Let me go, because I knew. I could have told you. I would have told you that. I don't know. This is the ultimate fence sitter.
Just go on. Say what you're saying.
Finish your point.
Because we're going to think.
Because I was talking about choking, yeah. In choking, if I turn around and I expect you, like, because Leicester couldn't choke. I don't see someone choking at something, because you wouldn't have prepared it. You get into a position and then you fall off. You were never prepared. You were never expected to be in that position mentally. If I turn around and say he's got all the attributes, but mentally he's weak. Mm-hmm. So then when you get into position, I'm like, bro, he's not even supposed to be here now. And then he does what we always expected him to do. Mm-hmm. I would turn around and say, but that's him.
You're saying Spurs mentality is weak. You're saying they've got the ability, but Spurs mentality is weak.
So can I ask you something, Kev?
They were never in position.
I agree.
I know we're going to wrap up. Can I ask you something? Let me go back to the England example. They weren't expected to get to the semi-finals, but ask any of them England players how they felt within themselves. They felt like they choked in that semi-final. They didn't turn around. No.
Because everybody would tell you that they were, oh my God, England got to the semi-finals.
No, that's hindsight. But I'm saying in that position when you're playing Croatia, they were looking at their half of the draw, saying, we've avoided Brazil, we've avoided this team,
you
we've
got
avoided that
beaten
team.
by a team that was spanked.
They got moved to.
Guys, it's been a very good part. No, coach.
Listen.
Coach.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
That was a footballing lesson.
I'm answering your question.
Yeah.
You know
the reason why I'm saying I don't know is because we've had 3 managers in the past 6 years. Yes. So I'm saying if we're gonna get a director of football, I need to see who that director of football is for the manager. If we're gonna get any director of football, I don't want Pochettino to come over there because that's not his choice. That's director of football. That's not what I want.
Every Man United player here feels the same way you feel. But they're putting their neck out there and saying if they had to choose.
Yeah, I'm saying Poch, you have to put your neck out. Who do you want? Look at that manager's attributes. Look at manager's attributes. No. Coach, because you got the last word here. You got the man. Yeah. So you got the manager's attributes on the
I wanna
table.
know.
What manager you going
Curious,
with?
I want to know.
Because you don't seem like you're a Poch guy.
Do you know why? Do you know why? But do you know
I want to hear why. I want to hear a
Do
name.
you know why I'm taking? Do you know why I'm taking so long into saying the person and saying a name, just one name? The reason why I'm doing that because I'm looking at the managers around right now.
Bro, the fence is thin right now. You're gonna
It's-
fall
it's-
off.
it's so-
No,
but-
I'm saying the fence is thin.
But what I'm saying is,
Quickly, say-
if I'm going off, I'm gonna base my decision
Just
off
manager's
the
ability.
best player at the club, and I say we need to get Zidane in.
Alright,
I
Zidane.
agree.
Last word.
I say Zidane.
Alright, guys.
I say Zidane as well.
Listen, I hope you enjoyed this special. I'm gonna call it a special because I think it's the longest one. I'm not chopping it. I'm putting it out like this. Yeah, listen to it, innit? Yeah, I'll put the timestamps here. Thank you for listening with us. Until next week.